Recruitment for Arknight's Enfield Beta Test 2 has officially begun. Head to enfield.griffline.com and complete the recruitment survey for a chance to join Beta Test 2 when it starts on November 28th. Today's stories include the Game Awards 2025 nominees are revealed, and we're going to watch them live right now because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody?
No one even
Welcome.
knows why that's impressive. No one even knows.
The Kinda Funny Games Daily for Monday, November 17th, 2025. Of course, I am your host, Tim Geddes, for a jam-packed, star-studded episode of Games Daily. I am here with Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
Snowbike Mike.
Hi, Tim.
Greg Miller.
Hello, Tim.
And Andy Cortez.
Good morning.
In just a few short minutes, the Game Awards nominees will be revealed. They might have leaked. I heard they leaked.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
streets
know.
are saying they leaked. I didn't see anything.
But we have not seen them.
We stayed pure.
We do not have chat up, so we do not know what the official nominees are going to be. We are going to watch the video that Jeff Keighley put out.
It's crazy that they leaked, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, I don't.
We're leaking award nominees now?
Does anyone know where and how they leaked?
I heard Jeff Keighley
Future class, we did it.
Yeah,
dropped
yeah.
a piece of paper.
Class did it.
Future class, we fucking infiltrated. That's what you get, Jack. Right?
That's so funny. Well, I mean, I'm sure after we watch this, we'll be able to get the information on
We'll
what
track it
happened.
down.
We can talk
Jason
about all
Schreier burned all the bridges.
But the plan for today is Games Daily is going to be a little bit different. We'll start off with the live reaction to the nominees being announced, and then we'll have a big discussion about what we think, topic by topic, for each of the different categories. What were the snubs, what we're excited about, all of that stuff. Bless,
Yes.
how are you feeling going into this? Is there anything that you're like, I'm going to be pissed if this?
I was thinking about this a lot yesterday. I was going through the different categories and doing my predictions for the categories. And I think overall, I'm excited about all the games of the year, right? Like there's so much variety in 2025. And I think there's so many excellent games that deserve nominations across various categories. The one that I stand by, the one particular one, Death Stranding 2 deserves Best Art Direction, at least a nomination. I would even go as far as a win. That game looks incredible. That game has such crazy direction. Yoji Shinkawa is doing his damn thing in that game, so that's what I want to see.
Mike?
I like that, Bless. Yeah, people are going to get upset. People are going to be happy, Tim. That's all I really know. Shroud, he might not ever play a single-player game if Arc Raiders isn't nominated. That's what he says. No, on the real, I'm excited to see what the big six are for Game of the Year. Me and Andy had a great discussion on Friday. We even have a pizza bet for what those six nominees will be, so I'm excited to see that. Best audio design is what I'm really looking forward to. Battlefield 6 has been my front runner. That thing makes my eardrums bleed every time I play. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens here.
Greg Miller?
It's time to put up or shut up, game critics. Last year I said what no one was brave enough to say. Indiana Jones is just not that good of a game. And everybody, I had so much fun for the first 4 hours. You're an idiot, Greg. And then it's been goddamn fucking crickets about this game since. So here's your chance. Here's your chance, everybody.
What do you want to?
If it was so good, I guess it's going to get a lot of nominations this year, isn't it?
What do you want to
A lot
nominate
of
it for?
nominations going to roll on in for this game. It was so good.
No,
It was so good.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this.
I don't like you.
Because what we need are reminders of what missed the cutoff.
Oh, I see. I
We
see.
need
It's everybody else's
reminders.
fault.
Yep.
It's
Games
not
industry
Andy
needs a
Cortez
reminder.
with this head of hair that just keeps getting better.
getting better.
How does
What
it
the
keep
hell?
getting
It
better?
just got worse right there.
No, it
we
was
need
fucking-
reminders. We don't like.
I'm not blaming you guys.
The reminder is ourselves. Like, we are the ones that need to look at it and know this.
I mean, I need
I didn't
just
think
like
about
a.
December.
I need like a. I need
Because it's
a.
fucking December.
But the rules specifically tell you what to look at.
Fuck the rules.
Hey, Marvel,
Chance critic,
I ain't
do you
remembering
take your
December.
job as seriously as I do?
Marvel Rivals missed out cutoff last year. Keep that in mind, critics. You know,
And
like
never forget that
exactly.
Tamor Hussein fucked me last year on Marvel
He
Rivals
sure
by
did.
not reviewing it for Fantasy Critic.
he sure did.
We were so
But
close.
There's a lot of
There was a
problems
lot
I
of-
got.
yeah.
The one nomination I want to see for Indiana Jones is Troy Baker for Best Performance.
Well,
I think that is.
you nominated him, right? Because you were such a big fan.
I don't know. We can't talk about what we did. we can't talk about what we did.
What about you?
It's like going into a confessional. No one knows what happens.
Doing the predictions last night, it's such a weird thing with all the different genres and what's going to fall where and what will be, will Elden Ring be in action game or in multiplayer? Like it's just, or both, who knows? I had a good time going through it. I think fighting game is going to be the funniest, interesting one if there is that category, because I failed to find a fighting game that wasn't what the singular early access game.
I got you on 5 for that.
You have 5 fighting games?
Well, I stretch a little bit, right? You have 2XKO.
You have like Mortal Kombat Collection and Capcom Collection.
Well, that's because I do have so I have 2XKO.
No, are you Roger?
I have Fatal Fury City of the Wolves.
Oh, that one too, yeah.
I have Virtual Fighter 5 Revo. I have Hunter x Hunter Net Impact. Good game? No, but it's a fighting game that came out this year. And then I do have Capcom Fighting Collection too.
Okay. So I put Sifu in there as well.
Yeah, Sifu belongs on this list.
Yeah.
What was the pizza bet between Andy and Mike?
The big 6
Yeah.
will be Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Expedition 33, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2,
Yeah. Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
and Kingdom Come Deliverance. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Andy took that 6 as a lock. And then to have fun with it, I said, I think like a Split Fiction, a Ghost of Yote, something will break in that's not those 6. We thought those 6 were a lock.
Tim convinced me that Ghost of Yote having more reviews and being the more popular one will replace one of those 2.
Yeah, like my
Then
thing
Death
is,
Good, I'm looking
Two?
for some pizza.
I think that
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 it'll replace Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's just historically looking at this, the PlayStation sequels always make it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Wow.
2 made it, like it's,
That
Yeah,
would
but
be
at what point do you
crazy.
admit we're just wrong?
That would be crazy.
I'm not predicting, I'm just saying. Like,
Well, the
What?
I think
Hold
that-
on. Can we jam for a second?
I think that Kingdom
like
Come
I'm at
Deliverance 2
Disneyland.
is the one that's most at risk.
You think that's the one on the cusp?
Yeah.
I
And Death Stranding 2 is, I think, there as well.
if I can give a hot take, right? I played 30 something hours with Ghost of Yote. I played about 3.5 hours of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 deserves to be on there more than Ghost of Yote.
I'm not talking about deserve.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean?
I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
talking about pandering, okay?
But these are critics though, who can't remember what the voting window is. So let's just say they're going to be there going, ball game good.
What's the game that
Panda
came out
over
in
there.
December? Besides, I don't remember that month.
I just want Mario
I wiped
Kart
that
World
year away.
nominated. for
Here we go,
something.
everybody.
That's it.
Get your super chat reactions in so we can read them after this. Tim, I'm building
Hello,
you a Wii
everybody.
News Live.
It's
Thank
Jeff
you.
Keighley, and the Game Awards season is officially
He's
here.
glowing.
Leading up to
My
our
best
live
friend.
show, streaming everywhere
all
on
that stress of the
Thursday,
future class is
December
gone now.
11th.
You don't have to think
Welcome to our
of think about it anymore. He's an ass.
No, you actually, that is correct. This is funny. You keep bringing it
together
up.
as a community to celebrate and, of course, debate the absolute best in video games. And, of course, also get a look at what's next from our industry's most talented creators. This year, there have been so many incredible games created and updated, but only a
Bless the
handful
jilted
have the
ex-girlfriend.
honor of being selected as
I'm gonna
nominees
hold this over.
for the Game Awards by
This
our
doesn't stop
global
here.
voting jury. Who's in the running? Well, you're about to find out as we reveal this year's nominees across all the categories.
music is
and you can
very
help
not
select the
Game
winners
Awards.
by voting at thegameawards.com.
About to vote in an
All
election.
right, should we do it?
We
Here's
should,
the first
Jeff.
category. For best performance, the nominees are Ben Starr for
Yay!
Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Charlie
Hell
Cox
yeah.
for Claire Obscure
Whoa!
33,
Podcast.
Erica Ishii for Ghost of Yote, Jennifer English for Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Onatsu Kato for Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker.
There you go.
They
Come on.
remembered
Ongoing
December.
game. The nominees are
I'll tell you right now, I'm
Final
going to be pretty
Fantasy
fucking red in the
14,
face if
Fortnite,
Indiana Jones is the
Helldivers
game of the
2,
year right now.
Marvel Rivals,
I'm going to eat a
and
lot of
No
shit right
Man's
there.
Sky.
Everybody gets a pizza from me.
Best mobile game. The nominees are Destiny Rising, Persona 5: The Phantom
Forgot
X,
that came out.
Sonic
Yeah.
Rumble, Uma Musume,
played that.
Pretty Derby, and Wuthering
that game
Waves.
rocks.
This year's nominees
All right,
for
Bless,
Best
here we
Art
go for you.
Direction are
Better be Death Stranding 2.
Claire
Yes.
Obscure, Expedition 33, Death Stranding
Yeah. There we
2,
go.
On
There
the
we
Beach,
go.
Ghost of Yote, Hades 2,
Yeah.
and Hollow Knight
That's right.
Silksong.
Okay.
That's right.
For
Okay.
Best Score in Music, leveled up by Spotify.
Don't fuck
the
me
nominees
here.
are Christopher Larkin
Yes.
for Hollow Knight
Yes.
Silksong, Darren Korb
Yes.
for Hades
Hell
2,
yeah.
Lorian Testov
Yes.
for Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Toma Otoa for Ghost of
I don't know.
Yote, and
Yeah, I know.
Woodkid.
You
Ludwig
fuckers!
Forssell
You
for
fucking
Death Stranding
fucked me!
2 on
This
the
is
Beach.
my one thing!
The best
Mario Kart
audio
World?
design
Mario Kart World,
nominees
man.
are
Oh, stupid as hell.
Battlefield 6, Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Have we seen
Death
Nintendo yet?
Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost
They
of
know what they
Yote,
did.
and Silent Hill F.
Damn.
Best Adaptation was added to the Game Awards in 2022
And nothing came out this
to
year.
recognize an outstanding show, movie, or other creative work inspired by and based
That's
on
Last
an
of Us,
established
but,
video
like,
game
no.
world. Here
What?
are this
Twisted
year's
Metal.
nominees.
Twisted Metal,
for Best
baby.
Adaptation.
In Minecraft.
A Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry.
Yes.
Splinter Cell Deathlock.
There you go
Nice.
for
The Last
Raj.
of Us Season 2.
Yay.
And
Twisted.
Until Dawn.
No!
Tim's got
Best
bad
horror.
I fucking hate the Game Awards.
Tim's got bad taste.
Stupid.
Expedition 33. Death Stranding 2. On the Beach. Ghost of Yote. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Wow.
And Silent Hill F.
Silent Hill Evan.
Best
Wow,
community
gotta play Silent
support
Hill.
We gotta
celebrates
play
game
Silent Hill.
developers who
Play
continually
together.
and transparently engage,
Can we
support,
handcuff
and
together?
respond
Yeah,
to
Mike,
their
put it on the
players.
stream.
This year's
Me and Greg for a
nominees
weekend
are
hang up together. My big
Baldur's
stream.
Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite.
We're real gamers, though. We have
Helldivers
it done in,
2,
you know,
and
afternoon.
No
Oh,
Man's Sky. Your nominees for
Don't
Games
order
for
lunch
Impact
once.
are Consume Me,
All right.
Despelote,
All right.
Lost Records, Blue
All
Range,
right.
South of Midnight,
All right.
and Wonderstar.
I wanted Ann Roger real
Category of
bad.
Best multiplayer.
What was the message in
nominees
Lost
are
Records?
Arc Raider,
Yeah, family and friends,
Battlefield
man.
6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. Best Independent Game celebrates games with a high degree of risk tolerance, produced outside the traditional publisher system. Those nominees are
Risk tolerance.
Absalom, Baldur's Blueprints,
Nice.
Clair Obscure
Yeah,
Expedition
there it is.
33,
People are
Hades
pissed.
2, and Hollow Knight Silksong.
He said
That's
absolutely
Best
wrong.
debut indie game recognizes a development team that hasn't won a Game Award before. In fact, these teams published their first game this year.
Okay, that makes more
The
sense.
nominees are Blueprints,
Nice.
Clair Obscure Expedition 33,
All right.
Despelote,
Expedition 33 sounds
Dispatch,
super.
Hey!
Megahawk.
Mega
For Best
Ball, too.
VR AR game, the nominees are Alien Rogue Incursion,
Fucking
Ark
tumbleweed.
and Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's
Ghost
Deadpool
Town is
VR,
what it
describes
and Midnight Walk.
No Luminescent Rise. That's crazy.
Content Creator of the Year, the nominees are
I'm happy to be back.
Pedro,
Deadpool VR even
Isonaut,
out?
No, they
Voice
sent it out
Critical,
ahead of time, though.
Sakura Miko, and The Burnt Peanut.
Oh!
Part of the Game Awards
I
is
like the
looking
peanut.
forward to what's next.
I like the
Don't
peanut.
worry,
I met the
we'll have
peanut.
lots of games to announce
Did
for
you-
you on December
really?
11th.
Yeah, and he was in a
What's
peanut
the most
outfit. It was crazy.
anticipated upcoming game?
7-foot-tall
Here are the
peanut outfit.
nominees based on currently announced titles.
I wonder what it could
007
be.
First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4. The best action-adventure game nominees are
Could have been Half-Life 3.
Death
Should have
Stranding
waited a
2
week.
On the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Hollow Knight Silksong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle,
Wow.
and Split Fiction.
Take that.
You know
Fuck
what?
you,
Take it back.
Greg.
Take it back,
Fuck
critics.
you, Greg.
I take it back. All right.
Clair Obscure Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds,
Wow.
and The Outer
I was gonna
Worlds
say
2.
no Outer Worlds
Interesting.
too. That'd be
In the
crazy.
category of Best Fighting Game, the nominees are 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection 2,
Fucking told you.
Fury, City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy
Oh.
Collection, and Virtua Fighter 5 Revo
You know what?
World Stage.
Good on them for not having
The
the Hunter
nominees
game.
for Best Action Game are
Good on them for
Battlefield
finding
6,
another one.
Yeah.
Doom: The Dark Ages,
Yeah.
Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4,
Yeah.
and Shinobi: Art of
Nice.
Vengeance. Go! Innovation and accessibility celebrates games that are making our industry available and enjoyable to more people. The nominees for innovation and accessibility are Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26, and South of Midnight. Next up, Best Family Game. The nominees are Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing
Let's go.
Crossworlds, and Split Fiction.
You know what? I fuck with this category.
Best Sim strategy game nominees are The Alters, Final
Yes.
Fantasy Tactics, Evilise Chronicles, Jurassic
a
World
remake
Evolution
with that-
3,
with voice
Sid
acting.
Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, and 2 Point Museum.
Interesting. No Schedule
These
1.
games are nominated for Best Sports Racing Game.
WWE.
EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World,
There you go, Tam.
Rematch, and
Let's fucking
Sonic
go.
Racing Crossworld.
Oh, damn,
All
that's
right.
Now the nominees in our 3 esports
No
No
categories.
college football again.
It's
We
not
are
a
lost
world
in the world.
The entire world
Nominees
votes
are
on
The same reason why cricket doesn't make it.
Dota 2, League of
We put
Legends,
rematch that
Mobile
died
Legends,
3 weeks
Mobile
later.
Legends, and
Dead.
Valorant.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right.
Nominees for
It's
Best
true.
Esports Athlete
Watch your
are
mouth.
Brock,
It was a great 3 weeks.
Chovy, Forsaken, Kakaru, Mena RD, and Zywu.
Oh, hell
Where's
yeah.
Faker?
And for
Let's
Best
go,
Esports
Mena RD.
team,
He just went 3
Special
times.
Esports
Yeah, 3.
Committee nominated these teams.
He just three-peated, man.
Gen G League of
He has
Legends,
6 names, 6
NRG
worlds.
Valorant, Team Falcons Dota 2, Team Liquid PH
T1.
Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Team Vitality Counter-Strike 2. Okay, we're almost
cutoff
done,
hadn't made
but
it,
there
Mike.
are still
They didn't
two
know.
very
One after
important
the cutoff.
categories
That's
to go.
right. Okay.
First, Best Game Direction recognizes outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and
What
design.
a year, man.
The nominees are
Claire Obscure Expedition 33,
Wow.
Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Split Fiction.
And now it's
Split
the big
Fiction might be
one.
getting the Game of the Year.
Game,
Game
of the Year, recognizing
Pretty
a game
fucking nervous
that
Indiana
delivers
Jones
the
is gonna-
absolute best
If I'm being
experience.
honest.
No silk song
across
for direction?
creative and technical fields. This year's awards, our global TGA jury has selected the following 6 games as the nominees for Game of the Year.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33 from Sandfall Interactive, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach from Kojima Productions, Donkey Kong Bonanza from Nintendo, Hades 2 from Supergiant Games, Hollow Knight Silksong from Team Cherry, and Kingdom Come.
There it is.
Deliverance
Wow.
2
There it is.
from
Big one for
Warhorse
Mike.
Studios.
That's a big one for Mikey.
I like that game a
There you
lot.
have it, your nominees for Game of the Year. And now that those are official, you can anticipate Lauren Balfe and the Game Awards Orchestra playing their themes as part of our musical
Tim, are you
salute to the
anticipating it?
nominees live
I
on
am.
December 11th.
I
But
am.
before that, we need your
Uh-oh,
help.
he does- he's
to
not
decide
happy,
which
though. He doesn't wanna hear his
nominees become the
favorites.
winners.
Luke guy's
Make
gonna
sure to
rip
head
it
to
up.
thegameawards.com to
He's
cast
gonna
your
rip it up.
ballot. And new this year, download your vote cards. You can share your
Oh.
picks on social media.
Oh, I do.
There is
that's
still
fun.
one more category where the nominees have yet to be revealed. Player's Voice, where fans 100% select the winner from 30 nominees. We'll announce those nominees
Raiders.
on Monday, December 1st, so set a reminder on
Did
the
we hear
website.
the word Arc
Raiders.
Raiders at all?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
The winners
Best
in all
multiplayer,
categories will
yeah,
be
which is
revealed
interesting,
live
yeah.
during TGA when it streams globally on Thursday, December
even
11th,
Dispatch fitted
starting
one,
with
too.
opening act at
Those are the
4:30
Yeah, but that
p.m.
got in his like
Pacific,
narrative or whatever.
7:30
Yeah,
p.m.
those are the
Eastern,
two that we had a
12:30
discussion on Friday.
a.m.
Like,
Dispatch is-
we don't know where that
at
lands.
It's that weird-
thegameawards.com and live
Where does
across
this fit in the
every
timeline
major
of the
video
episodes,
and
you know?
social platform out there. Thanks for
That's
watching.
all I can say.
hope to see you live
Yeah.
on Thursday, December 11th to celebrate the best.
I think you're
and see
at
what's
liberty to
next
say whatever you
in
want
video
now, Bless. I think you in particular.
Me in particular?
Former future
Oh,
class.
shit. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Well, it's not a thing anymore. You know? I'm not future class anymore. It doesn't exist.
House class, everybody.
House
What's
class.
up? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily, the real episode breaking down everything that we just saw. Each and every weekday, we run you through the video game news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free and a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be part of this show, please YouTube Super Chat in what got snubbed? What are the things that you wish were here that aren't? Or what are you excited to see? Did some of your favorites make the list that you weren't so sure were going to? I want to know. Little housekeeping for you. Big, exciting announcement. On January 28th, we're doing a live in-person in-review event as part of San Francisco Sketch Fest. A very exciting thing. What movie are we doing? The missing link in our Marvel in-review ranking. The Marvel movie that began it all. Not Iron Man.
Nope.
Howard the Duck.
That's right.
Everybody. Adding that to our every Marvel reviewed, ranked, and recapped. We have less than 10 Marvel movies total to have done every single one ever,
We're
which
amazing.
is absolutely terrifying to think about. But yeah, we'll get one step closer with Howard the Duck. Have you seen that before, Greg?
Have I seen Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I was like a sicko as a kid watching fucking Howard the Duck because it was like both cool and then terrifying. It was like a live action cartoon. But then at one point, the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, who turned out to be a pedophile, his tongue comes out because he's like an alien and goes into the cigarette lighter. And I remember being fucking freaked out. But I watched it all the time on VHS.
Well, I can't wait for this. And if you can't
You owned
wait,
it on VHS.
Oh, it's like one of those you recorded off TV.
Of course, of
Because my
course.
mom was like, I'm sick of renting this from
Yeah.
Super America.
go
That's
to
a
Kind of
gas
Funny.
station.
Go to kindoffunny.com/sketchfest to buy your tickets before it
America
sells
super again.
out. Yeah, it's January 28th coming up. Today after Games Daily, you're going to get GAMESCAST. It's going to be Andy's review of Moonlighter 2. Exciting. After that, the stream is going to be checking out some new content in Arc Raiders. If you're a Kind of Funny member, Gregway is going to be another live one on Patreon. It's going to be up for everyone later on. And thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs and Delaney Twining.
And Omega Buster, I believe.
And Omega Buster. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 2 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
The Game Award nominees are in. What are our initial gut thoughts, Andy Cortez?
That recency bias can sometimes play
shit, he's
heavily
throwing
into
it.
stuff. And now I don't know what to think with the popular votes anymore. With Yote being, I think more people overall played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but Tim really had me convinced that Yote would have been there just because of the Sony kind of
Sony
name
ponies
and the amount of people that play the games. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was a overall higher rated game, and I think more people played across more platforms. So that's something I should have considered as well.
So where's the recency bias come in there?
Well, no, these are two separate things. Recency bias talking about Monster Hunter Wilds. I think that if Monster Hunter Wilds came out more recently and didn't have time to die down like a lot of
Ongoing
live
games.
service games kind of go,
Can I
like
jump in?
yeah, sure.
It's the traditional thing, I think, with Monster Hunter Wilds when you look at it. That game came out so early, had such a moment. Everybody's playing it, but it's been around so long that it's faded. And people are like, well, it doesn't have the stickiness of Arc Raiders, which you're in the mood for now. Or it doesn't have, and there's a lot of things to criticize. And, Capcom has been out there of like, well, sales were soft and da. Like, the narrative's gotten away from it in a way, right? Where that game's been gestating so much. And for the record, as somebody who loved it and was so adamant on streams with Mike, don't forget Monster Hunter. Don't forget Monster Hunter. I don't think it's going to be in my top 5. I think it's going to be in my top 10.
That's what I was going to ask. I remember either last year or the year before, we were talking about Monster Hunter Wilds coming up, and we were talking about like, oh man, 2025 is going to be a big year for video games, and we're doing Game of the Year predictions like even back then. And I remember Monster Hunter Wilds being a big conversation point, and even me being like, I don't know if Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be in our top 5 or whatever, right? And like, people are looking at me crazy, but I think that's coming off of Monster Hunter Worlds being such a big thing and so successful and all this stuff. Does Monster Hunter Wilds does that live up to what Monster Hunter Worlds did? Because I feel like the conversation has, outside looking in, has died down real quick from it.
As a fan, no, I don't think it did. I think Monster Hunter Worlds was such a breakout. It was what I had wanted Monster Hunter to be for so long as somebody who played him on PSP and played him on Nintendo and did all these different games. Like that was such a holy shit, look at this. And it was Monster Hunter for so many new people. I think Monster Hunter Wilds arriving and being the sequel to that, which is great and fun and really cool, ran into some problems of still having the Monster Hunter jank, if I will, Mike, of how you party up and how you progress through stories. And then also at launch, one of the big stories was it's too easy. Since then, they've kept with what I think the world release schedule was of new event, new monster, now it's a 6-star, now it's whatever. Like it's gotten harder and harder, but you lose that zeitgeist you had. They didn't come with a complete game. Maybe that's too far, but they didn't come with what I think their complete vision is as it is right now. But even for us right now, it's like, as a Monster Hunter fan, as somebody who's going to have it in their top 10, but probably towards the 10, I was sitting there and it's like, ooh, Halloween stuff dropped. And it's like, but I have Arc Raiders to play and I have this to play and I have that event to do and I have this single play. Like, there's so much other stuff that even getting me back into it's different.
And anytime I've tried to write off the popularity of a game, it always bites me in the ass because I always think that like, well, this game will probably make it. And then a game like Monster Hunter Wilds, which has an 88, a 90, and an 88 on Metacritic across the platforms, with about 160 critics reviews, which is like way higher than a lot of games. I'm like, in my mind, that just says like the math is on its side, and it just wasn't. Which like it's not like I was rooting for Monster Hunter Wilds. I just thought the numbers would have really kind of vaulted in that space. But shout out to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for
breaking through.
Yeah, breaking through and being that game that at first, I was like, yeah, this will probably make it, and the Ghost Yote thing really sort of like threw my predictions off there. But Tim, I'm shocked about Mario Kart World not being in soundtrack.
I mean, I'm not shocked because, like, to me, that's my biggest upset. I've been talking about this. Me and Bless have been talking about it a lot of how I was like, I'm going to lose my shit if it's not there. Because I get the argument of people being like, it's a bunch of old songs. And to that I say, you're an idiot. You're an absolute goddamn moron. Because Mario Kart World doesn't feature a single song that is just an old track, that an MP3 they're putting in. It's not like a Smash Brothers situation that, it's just collecting all the music and it's just literally the song. We're talking about brand new arrangements of classic songs from the entire history of Mario games. Almost every single Mario game was touched. There are songs that we have never heard since the original game they were in, arranged across pretty much every genre of music imaginable, featuring live instruments, like live performances. Some of the greatest arrangers and orchestrators and composers of all time joining together. Like, this is an all-star squad situation. On top of that, this deserves an award for the new music it has, the new Mario Kart music. Every single new track that they had a new song that was amazing. And again, the road trip element to the the game's kind of vibe and the whole point of Mario Kart Worlds allowed it to have such a different thing. Mario Kart 8, it's all the jazz remixes. Every single thing is jazz, jazz, jazz. This has started with that like harmonica kind of road trip, like bluesy type thing. And then every section of the world had a completely different vibe, whether it's the city pop of the Princess Peach area or just like so many different genres being represented. This is like the apex of what production value can be for music production in a video game. And I understand people just might hear it and the untrained ear are just like, it's the Mario song. But it is so much more than that. I want this all clear. I think Expedition 33 should win, and I think it will win. I just wanted this to get nominated because I just think it deserves a shout out. We're talking about one of the greatest video game soundtracks ever, and it's not just because it's a collection of things. It is because of what this did for a soundtrack.
I agree.
Ivalice Chronicles making RPG kind of goes against the grain of why, like you saying, well, yeah, they're not just old songs; they are like completely redone. Ivalice Chronicles to me being in RPG when it got a new coat of paint and voice acting is pretty surprising to me.
Wait, was that RPG or was that Sim?
I think that was Sim.
Oh, that was Sim Strategy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Still,
never mind.
point stands.
Yeah.
Right. And that's always that weird thing that we've had the conversation a bazillion times about remake, remaster, where's the line? What are we awarding here? Because Resident Evil 4 Remake being up for Game of the Year a couple of years ago, that's a similar conversation, right? And we can agree or disagree
I hated that.
on what it is, but it's like, yeah, there is that precedent. I do think there is a difference between Resident Evil Remake and Final Fantasy Tactics, but that's a personal thing.
I mean, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 got nominated for Best Fighting.
Alongside Mortal Kombat Legacy, which is not even good.
Yeah, a lot of people are complaining
super mad about it.
Yeah. Like a lot of people are mad about like the input lag and shit like that.
But that I do think is, and we know this, these are the categories, right? They're not just going to not do the category because there's not 5 games. Maybe they probably should.
But that's my thing is like, I think it gets sticky, I guess, but you would assume there's rules for when you're nominating a game for Game Awards that you need to nominate X number. So I think so many people toss in, we're doing this, and when that came out this year and we reviewed it, we didn't like it. But I guess there should be a not I don't know what the cutoff is, and I'm not saying it's Metacritic, but it should be maybe you don't need to nominate X amount of games. You can nominate just one. If you guys love one game, nominate one game.
But I don't think that's the problem here. I think with Best Fighting Game, the problem is that only 4 fighting games came out this year, right? Like,
well, that's my problem. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm saying like we should have been, and I don't even remember
You're
what
saying
we
let's
nominated.
have less nominees.
I'm saying exactly. I'm saying Bless should be able to say, hey, Jeff says you don't have to nominate X amount of games. We nominate 1 game. GameStop Spot nominates 2, but nobody's not feeling they have to make a quota of
hit
games.
5.
So at that point, you would end up with, knock on wood, 3 games rather than 5.
Yeah, I think it's the second thing where I think either solution they could have for dealing with these categories is probably going to hurt them, right? Because it's either you keep the categories the way they are, and then you have situations where it's like, all right, this year is just a bad year for fighting games, and so let's have 2 collections on the list, one of them being bad. Or we revamp the categories, but then you lose the prestige of having these categories reappear year over year over year over year. Because there are some categories in video games where I'm like, there are things that evolve. There are genres that evolve. Where I look at best sim/strategy and I go, in 2025, should those be lumped into one category? I think not. I think what you get from the strategy genre and what you get from the sim genre, sim is a completely different thing nowadays. When I think sim games, I am thinking of all the truck simulators that might be playing, right? I think about like Schedule One and like the card game shops and all that stuff. And those games are such a big genre in video games nowadays that I think that kind of overtakes the strategy thing. But now we have this weird thing where it is, well, the category's been best sim/strategy because sim used to mean one thing, now it means something else. I don't know what the solution is. I would go in there and just fucking redo a bunch of shit, but I understand that like that kind of ruins the prestige of shit.
Can't believe Hunter x Hunter got snubbed, Bless.
I know, right? It's fucked up.
Big fighting game snub right there.
Greg, big takeaways.
Glad to see Claire Obscure get the recognition it deserves. More importantly, I think I'm glad to see Kingdom Come get the recognition it deserves. Again, these are both games that I didn't connect with, but I know how good they are, and I can objectively say that. It always is that concern with something like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a big lift, a not your average RPG, right, Western RPG to jump into. There's always that fear that people aren't going to play it, so they aren't going to understand it, so it is just going to be the most marketable, the most mainstream. The fact that they were able to break through, both them and Claire, very similar to a Baldur's Gate thing, not as crazy, because CRPGs I think are even harder to jump people into and get them really excited about. It's awesome to see them get that recognition, especially after, Mike has pandered to the audience and really fallen in love with it.
Yeah, Mike, let's get to you. What are your top level thoughts?
You know what? I want to give a couple shout outs. Best family game, Lego Party.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, congratulations to that team.
definitely.
That's a really special game, a really fun one that I know we enjoyed. I mean, not seeing Mario Kart World up on the music, Tim, I was right there with you. Me and Andy on Friday, that was one I was banging the drum for. Also Kingdom Come Deliverance too. Some great music in that, but there's a lot of great games with some great music in it. My biggest snub of the nominees, of course, is Faker. Not best esports gamer out there. Kid has won 6 worlds now in League of Legends. He went back to back to back. That's 3 times in a row. It's never been done before. That's pretty wild. I know we're not a big esports audience, but like giving the flowers where those are due, that's definitely there. EA Sports college football has gotten better this year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It does go, as all of you say, of like, hey, it's an international audience. College football might not resonate with everybody out there, but the idea that game came out last year was such a big bang, and then this year was better than last year is wild to see that not get nominated up there. But all in all, it kind of went as I expected it to. My big 6 are up there for the game of the year that I thought we would see. I do like seeing games when we get into, best multiplayer. I didn't know if Arc Raiders was going to be there, Tim. Right? We kind of had this talk about what's the cutoff, what's the cusp. You've seen a big, large audience right now online really pushing for Arc Raiders, riding for that game. So to see it get up there in the best multiplayer category, that's great. I'm happy to see some recognition there. And for Dispatch as well. These are 2 games that are like right hot and just out. So yeah, all in all, Tim, I'm pretty happy with everything.
Les?
Yeah, I'm very happy with the Game of the Year category. This is the 6 that I would have predicted as well, right? And I think this is the right 6 when you look at the scope of the year. I think it is tough when I look at games like Split Fiction or even Ghost of Yotei that are probably like just on the outside looking in, that I could have seen either of those getting in there. But when I look at these 6 games that are nominated, I think these are the right ones. There are a couple categories that, I get sad about. Dispatch being one that got lost in the shuffle here. It was nominated for one of these categories.
Debut indie.
Debut indie, thank you. But, I think when you are doing the episodic thing and I think when you have your game coming out over the scope of what is nominee season, I think you get lost to a few things. I could have seen that being nominated for even more categories, whether it be narrative, whether it be even performance. I think Aaron Paul in that game.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of performances in that game.
Honestly,
right?
yeah. Like I would have loved to see some of those sneak in.
I think that's another one of running. I'm sorry. No,
go for it,
I'm trying to add, not cut off.
Yeah.
It's, running up against that deadline where there's so many games and you're coming down to the thing. And it was a similar thing with us, making time to review it and do a spoiler cast the day it came out, right? Which was just last week. Like episodic's always hard. So I think that kind of worked against them in this one specific thing.
Exactly. And speaking of best performance, of course, shout out Troy Baker getting nominated for Indiana Jones. That said, I think Troy Baker also should have been nominated for Death Stranding 2. That performance is fucking incredible that he puts on in that video game. So yeah, I think, stuff like that, it's like, all right, cool. Clear Obscure, of course, had a lot of banger performances, and Clear Obscure just has a lot of visibility this year as far as how good quality that game is across many different things. And so seeing 3 different people get nominated from that game, I'm like, I get it, but also, man, I would have loved to see some other people sneak.
One thing to toss out here, too, this is from the press release, and I'm putting in bullet points as we go. 12 nominations for Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Quote, it is the most nominated game in the history of the Game Awards.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Little cool one as well. Shout out to Obsidian Entertainment. 2 RPGs in there. That's a wild one.
And they'll both lose.
They had a big year, but Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. You had Grounded in the mix. That's a studio that was absolutely cooking this year.
One more I'll say is that for best sports/racing, we didn't see Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. We didn't see that period today.
Yeah,
saddens me.
obviously that would be the one category, but yeah, it should have been there. Like that was great, but also I do think that in comparison to 1 and 2, it wasn't the same. Like I feel like it was not as complete of a package, and there were things that it wasn't as good of a remake as 1 and 2 were of 1 and 2.
Tony Hawk's looking at Mortal Kombat collection like, fuck that. Why are you there? Why are you in your category?
And also Keeper. I don't think we saw Keeper at all today.
Oh, that is
correct.
Yeah, and I would have loved to see that for best art direction.
Yeah. I already talked about Mario Kart, so you got that. But yeah, my big things are for adaptation. Like I think that we really dropped the ball as a people with this, because Until Dawn sucked. Like that does not deserve this. And like no joke, Twisted Metal Season 2 was awesome. Season 1 was like hey, by the end, surprisingly good. Season 2 was legit great, and everybody that watched it felt that way, and it should be here. And you know what else should be here, Bless?
What's that?
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh, was that in the
Sonic the
cutoff?
Hedgehog 3 didn't
No
make
shot.
this list, and that's fucking
Maybe we
bullshit.
should get reminders about cutoffs.
Honestly, yeah. Just a,
No,
just a
that
little,
was like in the middle of the year,
Sonic 3?
wasn't it?
No.
It was
Was
December.
that April? Oh,
It was last
December.
December, yeah.
Well, whatever. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is on my mind at all times, but
Yeah.
it deserves to be here. Like, and like they got a couple things right. Like there was only so many spots, so I get it. But man,
here's-
until dawn, get the hell out of here.
What I'll propose to Jeff, even though I've been shit talking you a lot lately. Next year, put me and Andy on the team.
me just
We'll
remind
make
people.
a pamphlet. We'll make a December pamphlet of like, hey, this is what happened December last year in case you forget, and we'll make it all pretty. Andy will handle the graphic design. I'll do the research.
Door to door, just canvassing. You know?
Like, don't forget December.
Yeah, do you guys want to go category by category and talk about
Yeah.
it? Let's do that after a word from our sponsors. Arknights Enfield is a real-time 3D RPG with strategic elements from publisher Griffline, coming to PlayStation 5, PC, and mobile devices in early 2026. Experience an immersive story and explore the frontier world of Talos 2 as you command a team of up to 4 operators in stylish real-time combat. Gather resources, plan, and construct your production lines with the automated industry complex factory system to feel the true satisfaction of a management sim and to transform the planet through industrial growth. Beta Test 2 is the latest playable experience for Arknights Enfield and introduces a rebuilt storyline, a brand new explorable region, revamped combat, a deepening AIC factory system, multi-platform support, and much more. Recruitment has already begun, and you can visit enfield.griffline.com now to complete the recruitment survey for a chance to join Beta Test 2 when it begins on November 28th. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. There's a gift that can bring your favorite holiday traditions and memories to life each and every single day, and it's called the Aura Frame. No lie, Aura Frames are undeniably the best gift I have ever given. Family, friends, partners, everyone loves being able to have beautiful frames showing off their loved ones and favorite memories. You can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. There's unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos and videos as you can find. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code KINDAFUNNY at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so order now before it ends. Support this show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. auraframes.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY. This episode is brought to you by Factor. Fall always feels like there's just so much more stuff to do. Shorter days, busier routines, back to school. It's all just a lot. That's why so many of us here at Kinda Funny love Factor. Their chef-prepped, dietitian-approved meals make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious no matter how hectic the season gets. On many occasions, Factor has completely saved Greg and Jen when they needed it most. You can choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Enjoy even more GLP-1 friendly meals and new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good-for-you fats. Eat smart at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code KINDAFUNNY50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. And surprise, we're doing a special live recording of In Review as part of San Francisco Sketch Fest. What movie are we doing? It's a Marvel movie we've been avoiding for years, but it's finally time. It's Howard the Duck, baby. We're doing it live. It's going down on January 28th. Grab a ticket at kindafunny.com/sketchfest before they sell out. So here we are, going category by category of the Game Awards nominees for 2025. Barrett, where should we start?
At the
game
bottom
direction.
of where Kotaku has.
Yeah, Kotaku's adding all the categories here. Developing story. We will refresh later.
The Game Awards site cannot load.
Best
So
game
you have to go
direction.
here.
Best game direction right now we have Clair Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. Anybody feel like something's missing, or is this feeling good?
I'm happy Split Fiction got this nod. since it's not in Game of the Year, right? Like, again, it being such a competitive year, and Split Fiction being a game that I think coming after It Takes Two, which won Game of the year that it came out, Split Fiction had a lot to live up to. And I think for the most part, it lived up to that game in gameplay, even though the story, I think, might have lost people. The story might not have been as inspired as It Takes Two, even though It Takes Two was also kind of a rocky story in places. But yeah, like that's an excellent game that I think deserves a shout out.
Thank you. I can't. Nah, anytime.
Well, as soon as you
any Hazelight game comes around, I go, Kodak.
you pointed at me, and I was gonna go Amicia. I think Split Fiction. It's one of those where, because we had seen something like it before, and arguably better with It Takes Two, and also a recency thing. I think if Split Fiction came out last month or 2 months ago, and a lot more people were playing co-op together, and it sort of dominates the discussion, I think it maybe is on the radar a bit more. But I generally hate this category anyway. I think it needs to.
Why do you hate it?
What I called it last night on my stream was I want this to be a new category for direction and innovation in game dev, or devs just doing weird shit and being weird little weirdos. Where it's like, I don't. At this point, it kind of just usually is Game of the Year. I wanted to also focus on like what's pushing like tech in a really weird way, which I don't know if
Best innovation.
a lot of, like maybe not even innovation, but I think of when we played Viewfinder. Like, Viewfinder is an older game that came out a couple years ago with weird ass tech that was like, this needs to get recognized. And to me, game direction, just like, it's like best song and best record or whatever. Like, they're usually almost the same nominees. And I think that a lot of the stuff that these games are doing are reasons why they are Game of the Year, you know?
Having said that, I do think Split Fiction belongs here. Like, I think that if anything, game direction is what that game does.
1,000%.
And for what you're saying about like doing something that is different, like nobody does it like Hazelight. And this might not have been the best Hazelight project in my opinion, but I still really loved it. And I do think that it deserves flowers for what it is achieving and how different it is and how awesome it is. Like that, the idea of a co-op game, and not just in terms of super fun gameplay, changing it up constantly and you and someone sitting on a couch having fun, but also the commitment to that experience and all the ways that the team has made sure that I forget the game share or whatever it's called, like the pricing of it. Like it's just, there's a lot of direction decisions about this game and like what it's supposed to be that I'm like, yeah, this deserves.
This is usually the thing that I think gets lost, especially on today when people run through noms, and especially on the actual show, right? Is like the Game Awards site, which is borked right now, so I'm pulling from an old one, does list what these all mean, right? And so for them, best game direction, at least this is from notes I had forever ago, awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game design and game direction and design. Sorry, I butchered that. But you understand what I'm driving at, right? Where it really is on the shoulder of the judges, us, when we nominate and when we vote, to come in and look at the games through that lens. But I'm with you that it sounds so close to Game of the Year that like, inevitably it also ends up trying to just be Game of the Year.
Looking at this list, it's like Split Fiction, I would have that there. I would have something like The Alters there. With just being weird of like, it's one actor acting as 7 different, 8 different, 12 different versions of himself in different characters, and what it's doing with the simulation and the sort of choices you're making. I wouldn't have Hades 2 here because Hades 1 did what Hades 2 did, and they're not adding like VR support to Hades 2. You know what I mean?
Outstanding like, creative vision and innovation. In
like
game direction and design.
Yeah, I wouldn't have Yote here. Even though Death Stranding 2 is a sequel to Death Stranding 1, I still might have it here just for as weird as it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
but like,
I agree with that.
I would like to shine a light more on games and maybe just have it be a completely different category.
I'm surprised Donkey Kong Bonanza is in here. Like, I know we're talking about games that iterated on other games. So DK Bonanza, it being a Nintendo 3D platformer that is totally shifted the idea of, oh, no, we're about destruction and like we're having these different materials and all that shit.
Yeah.
I think to your point, I look at that as more of a fit for this list than Ghost of Yoti or even Hades.
But then you come back in, right, and I think you throw the word direction around, right? And what all these have in common is you look at them like we're talking about performance and story being, and like, don't get me wrong, there's gameplay to all of this as well. But I think it is taking these complicated and I'm not saying this is justified, I'm just pointing out, I think as you look at the list, taking these complicated stories that the games are telling and how do you do, right? And how do you make that shake out? And that's what I think when I think of Death Stranding 2. Claire Obscure, obviously, as it goes on, progresses and changes and evolves. Ghost of Yote, how do you want to tackle it?
Because when I vote, like, when I look at the category, I look at Split Fiction as like a really good example of, I don't want to spoil that game, but there are moments in that game, particularly the last level of that game, where I look at it and go, nobody's doing it like this. Like, this has such a vision, this has such a direction, this has such a, and like most of that stuff for me is on the gameplay level of how they're able to execute on that. And I think for me is to the indie best song versus best record thing, right? Like, I think the technical difference is best record is more about like the writing and the construction of the song, whereas best song maybe more about like the final product and the impact. I'm sure I butchered that, but I look at that similarly here as far as how are you putting the ingredients together to make a game that feels like it stands out and is doing something fresh and different, which maybe might be more clear if you rename it innovation or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've said this so many times, like the point of these award shows is the conversation, because it's like all of us disagree with the categories and what goes in and whatever, but it's like, if you were to make something that you're like, this is the perfect award show, people are going to be like, no, it's not. Like, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And for us,
no one's ever argued our top 10 before.
Having to vote for things and looking at what the categories are, things like Games for Impact, it starts to get a little cloudy of just like, all right, there's a couple that are clear, yes, but then it's like, all right, are we really just putting this game because it's kind of artsy in this category? And I feel like with game direction, to what you're saying, Eddie, it gets weird because what exactly are we trying to do here? And it means something different to different people, even no matter how much you try to explain it and be like, this is what it means. I don't know.
Yeah. I would also shout out Blueprints for this category as well.
Yeah.
Like, Blueprints, I think, should get nominated and possibly win this category for that direction.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's move on. Best esports team. Any thoughts, Mike?
No. I mean, would I like to see T1 on there? Yes, of course. Is T1 always nominated when you go back in the history? Of course, right?
I think the cutoff, I think that's a big one, though.
Yeah, but then you could talk about the cutoff for last year, right? And then people forgetting in December what happened at Worlds, right? So it's like...
Well, they won last year, right?
Well, yeah, they won last year. So, like, where's the cutoff, right? Because if the cutoff was the year before that and then they won this year, that means they should be nominated this year because you would want to highlight that. But, I mean, this is a category where you got to have the right people voting on that, knowing and the knowledge of that. And if you don't know, it's like, well, I'm not a part of that for sure.
And then esports athlete, same thing. Moving up.
Well, I want to shout out Menardi in that category.
Yeah.
Menardi,
Yeah, that was cool.
He won the Street Fighter at EVO this last year and has been like dominating Street Fighter for the last couple of years. And usually I feel like for this category, you don't see the fighting game players make an appearance. And so I think that's a huge one to get in there.
Had a great run at EVO this year.
Great run
A
at
really
EVO.
good storyline. Like, that was one of those, if you were watching the finals there, that was a story that everyone was talking about and highlighting. That was an awesome one.
I feel like, I don't know how Sonic Fox has been doing recently, but I know they're usually on the list.
Yeah.
Just
They
as
won
like
one,
a-
right? Yeah, didn't they win one?
Yeah, I'm looking
Only a
past the
while
past
ago.
5 years. I'm not even seeing Sonic
Yeah, I
Fox
don't remember Sonic Fox being
on
there.
many of the nominations here.
That's fucking cool.
Maybe when they first like popped up on the scene.
But I remember some awards show. Was it?
I could have sworn Sonic Fox went up in the mask. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gay and I'm the best.
Yeah.
But that might have been like 2019 or something.
Yeah, maybe.
God.
Because Sonic Fox has been dominant for that long.
Yeah.
Then next up, we have Best Esports Game, Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, every time, and Valorant.
Feels
Andy,
like this is
Mike?
kind of the line that we normally see with most of the games, right? Like, who's making a splash in the scene? You know, Marvel Rivals tried to this year. I don't think they really got the full ball rolling quite yet, but like, they had a small little impact that they were trying on this, but I don't think there's anything massive that I would change on this list.
I think I can't think of any other title that would.
I mean, unless
this
you're adding
spot.
fighting games, right?
But
Unless
again,
you
this
start
year-
bringing into Evo.
Oh, well, that's the thing, Bless. Like, thinking about it, you being the most in tune to the fighting game thing. Obviously, last year was like the fighting game renaissance. Like, holy
Yeah.
crap, this year is a bit slower. But in terms of player base, in terms of esports game, these are older games. So do you think that there's any fighting game snub there?
I mean,
I thought Street
Yes
Fighter
and
was
no.
so hype, man.
that's the thing is like you would have to look at Evo and the hype of Evo, but like it's the thing of is it stand out this year versus previous years? I feel like Evo year after year, the Street Fighter is always going to close it and always going to be hype in the same way, right? Tekken is always going to be that second to last, and it's always going to be hype. And even I think this year, Tekken might have had like some complaints / like This year for Tekken and Evo, the final two were ended up using like all the same characters type shit. And I know like a lot of the people I saw that were popping up in chat and like online were like, it's kind of whack, it's kind of boring type shit. And so like maybe not this year. I could see next year if Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls hits in the first half of the year and makes a splash at Evo and like gets that moment. I could see that popping up, but it's just the tough thing of when it's these same games every year. I think you're going to go for more of the popularity aspect, and a lot of these games are just going to be more popular than the fighting games.
Andy?
KDG, you're out there listening somewhere. KDG, our statistician, our the holocron keeper.
You better get
Our true
Not
north.
a Funny Game Showdown right this year.
KDG's out there keeping the records. Bless for next year.
Mhm.
How many of those fighting games that you just mentioned, whether it's 2XKO or Invincible or Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, how many of those games, if any, sort of take these 5 or 6 spots away from what we're so used to seeing with Dota and with League of Legends and Valorant and Counter-Strike?
So I think the best two that have the potential are Marvel Tokon and 2XKO. They would have to have a fucking splash at Evo.
Yeah.
Like, it'll have to be, like, viral videos coming out of Evo and, like, all that shit happening, like, firing and, firing off. I don't know if they do it. I think...
You don't know if one of them can take the space of Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Yeah, that probably. Like, you're not taking down League of Legends or Dota,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
those are the two largest esports in the world when it comes to tournaments and the esports scene, right? And then Counter-Strike continues to just be a
Always.
staple, right? So you're talking about, like, Valorant going up against itself, like, with Riot Games. Riot has shown that they can really make a splash now with Valorant in that scene. 2XKO, they could do that for sure.
Timothy Geddes from kindoffunny.com. You have a question?
What is Mobile Legends Bang Bang?
I've been seeing that name thrown around a lot lately.
Does anyone know?
No idea.
It's become more popular. I've
Mobile
definitely
Legends
seen it.
Bang Bang is a direct comparison to why college football does not make the best sports game.
It's
And
a
that-
multiplayer
how
online
many
battle
people are
arena.
voting?
That's a MOBA developed by Moonton, a subsidiary of ByteDance. It's free to play, monetized through purchasables characters, cosmetic customization, primarily played on smartphones and tablets, iOS and Android.
ByteDance is TikTok. ByteDance is the one that was Marvel.
Oh, so they're getting them ads in.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I've probably seen an ad for this and just like blanked it out.
Nothing
Thought it
beats
was a fake
good
game.
MOBA.
Gosh.
Nothing beats
Can't
a good
wait.
MOBA.
Yeah, we're going to get back to Deadlock.
Get into
That'll
the
be on there,
arena.
Mike.
Yeah. First
In
came
2
out
years, Deadlock will be there.
First came out July 14, 2016. So that's another one that's just been around. Interesting. Let's move on to best sports and racing game: EAFC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World Rematch, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
I'm so happy Rematch is there.
Dude, same.
Shout out to Sonic Racing, though.
And shout out Sonic Racing.
You know, come on now. Good job.
Mike, you were
I mean, I
upset
could
about
go
something?
down the list of like, we continue to highlight EA Sports FC, the soccer game that everyone I know internationally, we all love a good soccer game, but we complain every single year that all these games are copy and paste. And then we continue to highlight it. It won last year. So it's like, all right, well, then they must be doing incredible things because every year we just we continue to moan about the same things. And so it is crazy that we're highlighting like an EA Sports title that is the same as always. Mario Kart World, that's definitely walking away with this one. Rematch, I thought, really missed it and did not deliver the way it should have. I would slide an EA Sports college football over Rematch.
But you're saying that based off of the like live servicey aspects of it, right? Like you're saying that
I
off
think
of the
just
post launch.
the gameplay itself as well, right?
Oh,
I think
no.
they had something there, but it was missing some sort of flavor. There was something missing out of that to make you want to play it all the time. I don't know what it is from a progression, a standings. There's something in Rematch that is why it died off so quickly because something was missing.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Rocket League where all of a sudden everybody got it, wanted it, and got better at it. There was something there that's like it's just missing that special ingredient.
I think there's two things. I'll say I think the content was lacking, especially when you look at a Rocket League. How when a Rocket League, even at launch, had all these different cosmetics, had flags for all these different creators, right? You had the Team Fat flag in Rocket League at launch.
What a terrible idea.
You had
Kind of funny. You can put a flag in the game. Yeah, don't use our company logo. Put Team Fat in.
Yeah.
in Rocket League, one of the most popular video games, right? So you had all that stuff. You had single player content quote unquote content in Rocket League, but you could play single player in that game. I think they just had a lot of stuff available to you, and then they also had the post launch content that was able to back it up and keep people in and keep people entertained. And Rematch was lacking in both those degrees. I do think though that the core gameplay of Rematch is so fucking fun. Like me, Gary Whitta, like a crew of us were fucking hooked on Rematch, and I think that core gameplay is so good that it deserves the acknowledgement. But I think this is the first and last time we see Rematch, right?
I still stand by. I would have held that until the World Cup, right? Like we are 1 year away from the World Cup, where the entire world will be eyes on the screen, glued to it. Football, of course, is a big international sport. Everybody loves that, but there's something different in the air when it is a World Cup year. It's a World Cup summer. This game would have really benefited from that if we had that going on at the same time.
I think it's the type of game that would have stayed, that would have been really, really popular in a year that wasn't so stacked with everything else, with people fighting for people's attention.
And
As it stands
also,
right now, it has 3,000 people playing concurrently on Steam, but it is a Game Pass game.
Yeah.
Where
and it
has
didn't
a lot of
launch
Easter eggs.
with crossplay, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was real bad.
That was tough.
Yeah.
And dumb.
There,
Do we think there's a world where Sonic Racing Cross Worlds wins this over Mario Kart World?
No. I'm happy to see it nominated.
yeah, it's cool.
That's a
that
win
it's
right there.
nominated.
That's a win
for
right
me.
there for a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
great-
everything
from a
I
great hedgehog.
hear, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds might be the better racing game.
But you're just around Roger a lot. That's really all that comes down to.
Yeah.
Roger and Ben.
there's a handful of people that are very loud about Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and I get it. Congratulations, y'all had a good game.
Are you guys?
Good
You
game?
know?
Fidel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh, I still get his invites. Are you guys surprised that Skate didn't make it in?
No,
No,
absolutely
not at all.
not. No.
Yeah,
That's a serious question. I thought you guys liked it.
No.
Best feeling game around. Skate still feels great.
Yeah.
It is still fun to play, but they absolutely missed the mark on what Skate should have been and could have been.
Do you think they have a rebound?
No, never.
Really?
You will never be able to
Skate?
fix that. That's right. No, you won't be able to get the player base back to jumping into that. It doesn't matter how many updates it takes. You will not have the opportunity like you did to revive Skate. You had one shot and you missed
Dang.
it.
I feel like I missed a chapter. That's crazy. I didn't
you
realize it
didn't-
was like that. People were that down on
Oh,
Skate.
dude, the Skate fans hate Skate.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I had to leave the subreddit because they were just so negative, and then the subreddit still shows up in my feeds because they
Yeah.
know I like Skate.
Yeah. I will say I'm bummed that Tony Hawk 3 and 4 aren't there. I'm not surprised that they're not there, like I was saying earlier, but it would have been nice for them to get a nom just so that maybe one day somebody looks at it and goes, hey, it was Game Awards nominated. The other one won the category a couple years ago. Well deserved. And maybe we should do Thug and Thug 2. Maybe we should keep this going. But I'm still to this day surprised we got the game. But sad to not see it here, but it's okay. Moving on. Best sim/strategy game. The Alters. Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Civ 7, Tempest Rising, and 2 Point Museum.
I was so stoked about Alters being there. I didn't realize Jurassic World Evolution 3 was there.
So now pick one. You love them both.
Alters, but I don't know if it wins, but I'm just so happy that the Alters got nominated. That's a really, really cool game with an awesome narrative.
Do
Talk
you think it has a pretty good shot?
Because I feel like some people might not know about the Alters.
Well, shout out to Jan Dolsky, who
Yeah.
I wish was nominated for
best performance.
best performance. Yeah, Alex. I think I'm blanking on his last name. But the Alters is a game about you are an astronaut who crash lands on a planet, and you are in a ship. It's kind of, think of like The Martian, where it's like Matt Damon's got to just like fight to survive and live, but you have this tech with you that you are able to clone yourself to help your odds of survival, because you have more bodies that can do more things. And at multiple points in your life, you are cloning. Like let's say when Greg was traveling, you remember that one like horror story you told us on a road trip where you almost died, like you almost like crashed or whatever.
Yeah.
Now imagine like the version of that Greg that like actually did almost die.
Yeah.
And then he got really into some genre of like science or something.
Religion.
And like you helped cure yourself.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you would on this planet, you would clone yourself from that point.
Yeah.
From the Greg Miller that almost died.
Yeah.
And now that scientist version of Greg now comes out, and he's a different person. Different. Think Multiplicity. Michael Keaton. Good movie.
She touched my pippy.
Good. She touched. So he touched my pee-pee. What's his name?
I forgot. I don't remember
Pepe.
the name.
He calls it Pepe. Pepe. He calls it Pepe.
Multiplicity, underrated Andy McDowell film.
Anyway, the game is like you creating clones of yourself at different big moments of your life that would have like completely been altered.
I
in
really
that way.
want to play this.
And it is such a cool game. The decisions that you're making, the things that are happening to you. It's basically a sim strategy game where you are just trying to get materials, trying to keep everybody happy, trying to keep these clones that have been brought into existence from like revolting against you and being like, fuck you, I don't want to be existing right now. And in their mind, they also had like a past life, even though they didn't. So like they have a future as well. And it's like, it is so trippy and so cool and creative. And I really hope it wins.
So yeah, my question is, do you think it wins? Because don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy Tactics, Jurassic World, Civ 7, Tempest Rising, 2 Point Museum. I've heard good things about all of them. Usually people just bag on Tactics because it's whatever. But like, Alters seems to be the one that kind of is the one that people are like, oh man, you got to play that. That's something really cool. Da, da, da.
I really think that Final Fantasy Tactics still wins somehow.
Yeah.
And just to be real clear about this, like people bagging on Tactics, that's just me in your ear talking about not liking the art style of the remake. Nothing
People
to bag
love
on. This
acting.
game, it's like one of the best games ever, and it's a perfect remake. Like they fucking killed it, and like Roger's been playing it for the first time, and it's changing his life. Like,
Oh man, something's gonna straighten that guy's life out finally.
yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics, baby. But yeah,
I think that
But Civ
takes it.
7 though, like I thought that was not well received.
It didn't
was
launch well, which is, I feel like, usually the story with Civ, right? Mike?
really
Like,
fucked me on Fantasy
Yeah, that's
Critic.
how it goes. I ride for 2 Point Museum. I think what the 2 Point team did with Museum, making it so much fun to play, really welcoming, a great onboarding. I'm riding for Museum.
Andy, is the Alters a contender for you?
Yes, I think Alters makes my top 10 this year. Yeah.
Dude, if I could pitch a Smiley's category that is best game that we didn't finish, Alters would be up there for me.
Nice.
The Alters and Liza P. Overture.
Oh, I'm so mad at you for not pitting that.
Moving on from this, we have Family Game, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, which I still need to play, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction.
Man, that's a category.
What a strong
That's a
category,
category,
right? Like
right?
great
Yeah,
games
yeah,
here. I
yeah.
think this is definitely one of the better best family game years because sometimes we look at this list and go, "What
Just
are we
the
fucking
Nintendo
doing here?"
category.
Yeah, so it's cool, and Mike was saying it, but shout out to Lego Party. The game really, really, really did something special, which is just kind of be like, "Hey, Mario Party, you're not the only ones that can do this." And in fact, we can kind of do it better in some ways. And it's really wild because Lego Party is a game that when it first was announced, all of us looked at it and went, this looks like shit. Like, this looks like, why? Like, who's making this? Why are they doing this? And it was a major surprise. So congrats to them.
It's one we want to return to so badly.
Yeah.
If you want to have a fun hour and a half of just watching something on YouTube, watch our last time playing Lego Party. It's a fucking blast. It's hilarious.
So when you look at this category, though, what does it come down to? Bonanza versus Split Fiction?
Oh,
I think
Mario
it's
Kart
been-
World and Donkey Kong, right?
I think Bonanza runs away with
Yeah,
this.
it's the two Nintendo games. Got to be up at the
See, I think
Split Fiction
World.
over World.
I think it's Bonanza Split Fiction because I think World, again, a great game, insane attach rate, yada yada yada. But critically, and I mean, it did well. But I mean, I feel like everybody's like, okay, and everybody moved on.
It underperformed for Mario Kart critically.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good. Whereas the Split Fiction, of course, we're follow up to a game of the year and a game that is awesome and nominated for game of the year. Bonanza, this thing that was so incredibly different.
Yeah,
World
the Mario,
reminds
the
me of-
Mario Kart conversation is very interesting, and I think that time is going to be a very interesting thing because I think the problem with it is it being the launch title for the Switch 2 and on the critic side, but I don't think it underperformed compared to any other Mario Kart because it's like
Sure.
Mario Kart 8, like nobody gave a fuck. It was on the Wii U, right?
I guess I'm
And then-
saying 8 Deluxe.
Yeah, but even
Over-delivered.
8 Deluxe, it's like obviously it was we know what 8 Deluxe is. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I give it the nod over Mario Kart World for sure. But I think that we over talk like how negatively received Mario Kart World is. Like I think critically it's that 8, right? And it's just like expectations. We want it to be a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
I think that that's lofty for a Mario Kart, and I don't think that's going to really affect the wide critic appeal of the game. Having said that, I do think that there's 10s on this list with Donkey Kong, right? So
It reminds me of what you were saying earlier, Greg, about like the Monster Hunter Wilds and
Yeah,
World War.
so
It's
much
like,
time
it's a
since
great game. Like, I don't know if it lived up to its predecessor, but it was a great time. And yeah, I think the more we talk about it, we talk more about the things we didn't like about it.
Shortcomings, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
but yeah, otherwise I feel like this is just These are all great games to some extent.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Split Fiction, I'm a little split on for best family game. I
Why?
could go back and forth on that.
Okay.
But I guess I kind of have a mindset of like Greg and Ben, right? He's not handing him, let's play Split Fiction together. I
Yeah,
guess on
but in 5 years, I
older
will
range
be.
there is, but like when I look at those, I'm like, that's the one outlier to me where I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, I don't think it's better than any of those when I think of family game.
I disagree entirely. I think that like well, I was saying this earlier, but Split Fiction, that dedication to co-op, you and someone else playing, that is what a family is.
And I was going to say, how many people think of family as their partner, too, that come home and
Totally.
can share this game with their non-gaming partner?
Yeah, and not
I don't know
needing,
about-
you know, the split screen aspect of it all is also really nice, you know.
What's the Game Awards definition of best family game? Because I don't know if I'm buying best partner game for best family game.
For best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, is what I have.
That's vague
A
enough.
very, very
You know what?
old
That's fair.
document.
I don't got friends, I got family.
And again, I think you were talking about how critics take that and then apply it to their life or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a weird category then. It's like we're doing awards based off of scenarios. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that's a weird one. That's all. That's all I got. I think that's a weird one then.
Moving on to the next one, we got innovation in accessibility, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Doom the Dark Ages, EA Sports, FC26, and South of Midnight. This is one that I'm definitely out of my depth on where
Yeah, this sucks because I'm trying to see if the Game Awards will load. The page, when it will load, will tell you here's what we did accessibility-wise. Like, you can jump in. Atomfall, if I can just start spitballing while I try to find it, or if it'll work for me. Atomfall, when you talk about that was one that, like, one of the hooks of Atomfall was it's one of those games where we tell you nothing. Find the clue, figure it out, go to the Northwest. But if you wanted to, you could go in and change all of that to be like, no, I want a guided, take me there kind of experience. I don't know if that's what they're talking to accessibility. I'm out of my depth on that one.
yeah.
Same thing for, South of Midnight. I talked a lot about their accessibility of you can skip battles, you can do this, you can go through. Unable to load nominees. Yeah, so we're not going to get the information here why they're nominating it.
Yeah. If we got it later, we'll come back to this one. Best action game, Battlefield 6, Doom the Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. There we go. Is that for Shinobi?
Yeah, baby.
Any surprises here? Any snubs? Anything that you're like, how'd that make it?
I mean, my pick was Battlefield 6. I'm happy to see Doom get some recognition there. I think Doom was one of those where the time it came out, how it came out, I didn't think people would still remember it. So nice to see both of those on there.
Yeah, I'm super happy Doom is there. I was like, as I was going through my nominees last night, my predictions, it was the only time I could type it and felt right typing it. And I was like, I'm happy to finally be typing in Doom the Dark Ages because I think it largely got like quickly not panned because it's everybody just said like, oh, it's the worst of the three. And I don't even agree with that. I think the game like starts off really, really awesome and then continues to excel and get better and better. And I had a great time with it. But yeah, it's super awesome seeing Shinobi Art of Vengeance there for sure.
I was wondering if you'd see Lies of P Overture sneak into this category. This is like the one category I could have seen it popping up in. But I think it being DLC, of course, makes it tough for people to, I think, recognize it. That said, Ninja Gaiden 4, would you have a prediction of what runs away with this? It's a tough category, though, because I think Hades 2 and Doom the Dark Ages, of course, are also standouts.
Hades 2 is my personal pick. I think it is an amazing game, an amazing action game specifically. But I do think because it's a sequel, and like I think it loses a little bit of the people be like, oh, I'm not going to vote it for this. I'm going to vote it for something else type thing. But yeah, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, like great to see it here. I do personally think the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound should be here as well. But I also understand that it's not. But Ninja Gaiden 4, it's from an action perspective, I've heard nothing but good things. I know your guys' review, you didn't necessarily love the game overall.
Whoa. I did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what'd you give it?
An 8.
Okay.
Well, I love the action of it. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go.
But I would put I wish Night Rain were here as well. Like I know Night Rain also got nominated in multiplayer, but I do wish that we saw Elden Ring Night Rain here for just being an awesome action experience. I mean, it's all action, you know.
I'm just happy Shinobi's at the table, and that I'll take it.
Yeah,
because that
good for
game's
them.
fun as hell.
A bunch of people in the chat pointing out that these are all sequels. Is there any non-sequel action game that we feel like could have made this list?
Absolute.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
a weird one because like you don't think of it in that same direction, but combat is primarily what you're doing in that game, and I think that is like that's my favorite combat this year, or one of my favorite combats in games this year. So I would love to see it here. But again, I'm happy to see it at the table that it got to nominated for a different category. So I
think our creators could have a conversation here.
Is that an action game?
I mean, what's your definition of action game?
That's
right, because it's now starting to really.
We don't have an extraction category,
and so there's not a shooter category. There's not an extraction category. It's action, right? And Battlefield 6 to me is action, right? The things that I get into in Arc Raiders is definitely action for sure.
The way you played, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the way you played.
I was gonna say that. Well, last night I came up with a mathematical. Equation
scientific
that it has to be 78% or more of action in your game in order for it to be an action. And if you're like at the 75% mark and 25% platforming, then you're an action adventure.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, the way they define it really is about the focus on combat. And the action adventure does have a focus on platforming or exploration and stuff. And so it's like, oh, you motherfuckers, I get what you're doing. But I don't like it.
Did we mention Elden Ring Night Rain in this conversation?
Yeah, I was hoping to see it there, yeah.
Then next up, we have Best Fighting Game. We've talked about it, but let's go through it again. KX2, I'll never get this right. 2KXO.
2X.
That wasn't right.
I'm fucking looking at it. I hate this shit. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Virtua Fighter 5, Revo World Stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, too, because 2XKO is also in early access. It's in some kind of pre-release stage.
Yeah, it's not fully out.
It's very recent too. It's like very early access.
Yeah,
everything else had been invited
up to everybody. Yeah,
so I kind of genuinely don't know what wins this category. Like, I look at this and I think
Fatal Fury takes it.
I could see Fatal Fury, but that game's it's cool. I like that game, but I don't look at it as like, oh, that's the best fighting game of the year contender or whatever. But I guess in this year, probably for a fully released thing.
I think
maybe Virtua Fighter 5 even.
I think 2XKO gets
will
it.
Get it, yeah, with Riot Games behind that.
I mean,
the look, the style,
but it's also like you don't have that big of a character roster in that game
yet.
Like
6 characters.
Yeah,
right?
like I don't look at that as like a full fighting game release. I think we're just in a weird stage with this category.
Yeah, we really really.
I might say fuck it and give it to Capcom Fighting Collection too.
Yeah,
I had Power Stone up in that thing.
Best role-playing game: Avowed, Clear Obscure Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2.
So shocked that Avowed is here. Just so shocked that based on you don't always have to look at Metacritic, but it being probably the lowest reviewed of all of these. I was looking at the top rated games and going through that, and in my personal predictions, I had put one of Mike's favorite games of the year, Trails in the Sky.
Sure.
How about Digimon?
Yeah, surprise Digimon. We've heard so much good things about Digimon, like all of this praise for this game. Surprised it wasn't here, yeah.
I'm so sad and not surprised at all, but it's like, one of my immediate contenders, Citizen Sleeper, didn't go anywhere. And but the altars also being such a decision-making thing, and, when I think of role playing, when I looked at the top 6 games or whatever, it's like, all of these have role-playing game elements. We're just really, really melding what these genres are. But I would say Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 may take the win here.
You think over Claire?
Only because I think Claire wins best
everything else.
I think that I don't think it's going to stop people from voting for this. Sometimes you talk about that where you worry about going to the ballot. Well, I voted Claire and 15 other things. Why not? And I don't think that's going to shake it up too much.
We always talk about the diversifying of winners and stuff, and people think about that. It almost never shakes out.
Exactly. We always get in our head about what actually happens when people step up to it. I'm more interested, and I guess none of us call it out, so I'm just the odd man out. If I was nominating Monster Hunter Wilds, I would have put it into action like we were talking about earlier, more than role playing. But this falls into what do you define as role playing? The old definition I have from an old Game Awards thing says, for the best game designed with rich character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. So I see it, and I'm not riled up about it, but I was like, oh, that's an interesting one. I'm with you that I know there's better RPGs this year than Avowed, but I think Avowed, we're back to mainstream. That was a game that everybody could get their hands on. It was, I think, out there for everybody, a big push from Xbox, and a great combat system. You know, I didn't love the overall experience, but like combat felt really good. Maybe it wore out over time. I'm happy as a fan to see Outer Worlds 2 get it here. Obviously, I wouldn't vote for it in the category. I don't think it's going to win this category, but it's cool to see it there at the table.
I want to shout out Deltarune. Even though even based off of that definition Greg said, I don't even know if it would even be a fit in this category, but like I look at Deltarune as an RPG and it came out, at least a part of it again came out this year, but its release structure is so weird that I'm not surprised to not see it pop up. And also, Mike, what's the word with Trails in the Sky first chapter?
I just brought that.
Oh, you brought, okay.
Yeah. I agree with that on Andy's side on that. That and Digimon, you could definitely have a conversation about slotting those in.
Yeah, Digimon, I know so many people love.
We gotta add like decision making too. So when I think of RPG, I'm role playing as something. I'm
making choices.
What would I do in this moment? And because
would you stab this monster?
Yeah, but like it's just like we're just in that weird territory with genres. But like everything has a skill tree now.
But see, to that too, it's funny because like I know there are in specifically this game there are examples of it, but are you really making that many decisions in Expedition 33?
Well, that's personally why I don't know if I had it on my initial list. Just thinking of like what inherently what the game is.
Yeah,
like,
but it is. I mean, I think inherently
turn-based RPG.
It's an RPG for sure. But like,
yeah.
I think the decision making thing like isn't necessarily like the difference maker of what an RPG is.
It's kind of the difference between a Western RPG and a JRPG. Like I think that's why this category gets weird. And again, like we kind of have to go by what the overall thing is. But yeah, like for most JRPGs, you're not making decisions like you are in Avowed or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or all these other Western RPGs. Yeah. I'm not saying you divide it that way, but I think you could cut this category in half and be able to give games that feel more competitive against each other. Because like when we talk about Trails in the Sky first chapter, I don't compare that to Outer Worlds 2. Yeah. Those are different genres of games, even though they're both RPGs.
Well, this is why whenever I open my fat mouth, right, I'm like, oh man, I love RPGs. Well, I love Western RPGs. Well, I love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you start getting down where it's like, yeah, I wouldn't know Digimon, right? I wouldn't go and play that idea.
Glenn Wilson says Avowed 100% deserves to be here. The combat and parkour moment to moment were so good. Loved the story as well. Need a sequel.
You're getting one apparently.
Moving on to Best Action Adventure Game. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Split Fiction.
Fuck you, Greg.
Hey man, I didn't get Game of the Year, but I am impressed it made anything. Troy obviously very deserved. His indie was great, but I'm with the Death Stranding conversation from before, but I'll stop now. Another great category. But I mean, when you stack these up, right, we're all thinking Silk Song wins it. Right, you know what I mean? Where do you, I mean, there's a lot of great games on here to ride for.
I think any of those top three. Honestly, I think any of these, funny enough, aside from Indiana Jones, has a chance.
Yeah. You think Yotei has a chance?
I think so.
Love Yotei, not taking shot at it, but I mean, when I start like whenever you look at these categories, Tim, I start doing the guess who thing where I'm like, knock you down. Like, what else would you know? And so pretty quickly, I'm to like Death Stranding, Silk Song.
Got a pretty cool adventure.
Death Stranding 2 is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't you tell Andy it was a skip?
The ending is a skip.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck
You're
does
a
that
fucking
mean?
idiot.
No, it's not.
There's a moment there.
That's the most vital part
Ending
of
is
the
the
game.
best part of the game.
There's a moment.
One moment you weren't happy with.
He was asleep, Jack.
Oh my God, you're fucking crazy. That was when I was like, Kojima's back. Kojima is back.
Everybody's doing this, Tim. We're all dancing.
Awesome.
And it was
you.
a fucking incredible.
He was falling.
Go to another.
Stick to the
Go
script.
play 30 more hours of Magic in a fucking dusty shop.
According to the world, Ghost of Yotei is only like a 9 or 10 out of 10 game. So like going off of that, I'm just saying, it should win, shouldn't it?
Andy, what are your thoughts on Silk Song?
I think Silk Song takes it here. I think, but then when I look at the game of the year, I look at the lack of Yotei and wonder, do people vote for Yotei because that's the only place they could vote for it here? But then that goes with the sort of line of thinking of, yeah, but it's usually the more popular thing will win anyway.
I do think it's funny to look at this. Like, obviously, all these games fit the category, deserve the category, all of that. But action adventure on the 2D side and 3D side, I think, like, literally by definition, Silk Song and Ghost of Yotei, right? Like, Ghost of Yotei, I think, is like the most not paint by numbers, by the numbers action adventure game. You know what I mean? Like,
the
I
best
think
action
from a
adventure game
mainstream
combining
perspective-
combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
Yeah, like I do think it is an emphasis on both of those things in a way that Death Stranding 2, more on the adventure side, right? Indiana Jones, more on the adventure side. Split Fiction, kind of a mix there, I'd say. But
I think Split Fiction is like kind of perfect for this genre, just when it comes to like exactly what you're doing in the game. But for me, Ghost of Yotei, I as much as it feels like you're going on an adventure, like you're not, like you're climbing mountains because that's what they're putting in your way to get to the next thing. But like there's no challenge there. You're just climbing it because it's an alternative to walking. But with Silksong, you have these platforming challenges where you are zipping and trying to get that perfect jump and trying to do the pogo bounce off of an enemy to then go to the next thing and grab onto the ledge. Like that's what I feel like that's nailing the adventure sort of platforming aspect in the description.
How is DK Bonanza not in this?
That's
like based off of that conversation, like DK Bonanza is such the definition of action adventure when you think about it.
A great call.
Because the middle chunk is,
because it's for families.
very, very rich.
Move up. Most anticipated game. 007
list,
First
though.
Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4. It's interesting. I think that this is always a funny category, and like specifically, it's going to be GTA 6 because until GTA 6 comes out, it'll be GTA 6. But these are kind of the 6 games we know about. Like we are in a weird place right now that I don't think we know too many titles of games coming out in the next year that are
Is The Witcher 4
up there.
next year?
Or even just
I don't think he
They don't-
categorized it
Okay,
as
so
next
just
year.
anticipated.
announced games. Period.
Yeah.
So
I would have put a new Infamous collection out.
No Fable, no
Well,
Marvel
that's not
Tokon.
announced, yeah.
yeah.
Bloodborne remaster.
Halo,
Yeah.
Halo campaign evolved. Gears E-Day. There's a lot of cool games out there, y'all. It's very exciting.
Would you put
A
Gears
remake and a
E-Day?
prequel.
Yeah, I mean, it's Gears of War. Gears of War absolutely rocks, So, yeah, I mean, you could replace 1,000 of these games with those 6, right? There's so many games to look forward to.
Shout out to 007 First Light making it in. That's one that I'm not surprised, but I am surprised to see it like on this list with these other games that are.
You get
that
to
are
see more of it
juggernauts.
this week.
That show was running in like 20 frames per second in the
Yeah.
trailer.
Let's move up. Content creator. Any thoughts on this? Mike, you popped off for the peanut.
I mean, I love the Burnt Peanut. I'm a big fan of him. I really enjoy him. VTuber of the Year at the Streamer Awards. We'll see if he wins that. But this is a content creator that made a huge splash on the scene this year, coming from the Escape from Tarkov world that is so grindy. It is such a small niche market, and to kind of blast through that right now and be in the stratosphere of some of the larger creators is a pretty wild story to say, right? Moist Critical being so open and honest and doing what he's doing right now with his channel, and also showing all the revenue, the numbers, breaking it down so people on the outside can understand the industry of this live stream content creation world is a wild one. No one was doing that. And Moist Critical went out there and had a conversation. So Charlie's up there.
And killing it in Dispatch also. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Kai
it's
Cenat,
crazy.
you could go down the list of everything that Kai has done this year and you would be blown away, right? There's so many content creators and streamers out there that are doing things that like you would never believe that could be done, right? He had a whole streamer university where they took over a part of a college and brought in younger streamers to learn from a bunch of content creators. He had this Mafia-thon where he brought in more celebrity guests into a streaming Twitch world than you could ever imagine, right? LeBron James showing up to sit on a webcam Twitch stream is crazy. You never would have thought that 5 years, 10 years ago. And so we could go down the list of all of that. And there's 2 others that I don't know, but man, that's a wild year of content.
Does this lean towards gaming though?
What do you mean? For
Like, when
the
you're talking-
Game Awards?
Yeah, because when you're talking
Well,
about
yeah,
Kai
because
Cenat,
his audience would tune in to watch him win, right? That's the hope.
yeah,
It
but
doesn't lean into gaming? No.
I think that's the thing is
But
when I
like-
think of Kai Cenat, I think of all the things that are outside of game. I know he does like he did Elden Ring marathon.
like, yeah,
but then like if we're just talking about content creator, then it's Speed should be on there.
Speed should
like
be on
fucking
there.
Jason the Ween or like
Yeah.
fucking Extra Emily and those people. I feel like.
But
would
like,
be
are
on there.
people voting know those people, right? It's like, did they know Jason the Ween jumped out of a plane and live streamed him skydiving, right? Did they know that Extra Emily went around the entire globe this year and live streamed it? Did they know Speed put on multiple hey, I'm in this country for 30 days, live streaming from the middle of China.
Did
all
they
the
know
way
that
to-
Mike and Roger were handcuffed together
Exactly.
playing?
Exactly.
Like Speed was around the globe like he was a president. You know what I mean? Like he was meeting people. He was like a second pope.
He's the ambassador. It's like when aliens come to Earth, we're gonna be like,
We're
"Here's
gonna
Speed."
send Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So, yeah,
it is
I
funny
mean-
though. Everything you just said has
Yeah.
nothing to do with video games
Yeah.
at all.
Well, I mean, what
all
brings
years.
us all together is video games, right? Charlie plays video games all the time. Bert Peanut only plays video games, right? Kai Cenat started playing video games, and now his content has morphed from that, right? So, like, the VTuber there, I'm sure, is playing games. So, like, everyone is playing games still here, right? So, like, that's the glue that binds us all together. Is the games that brought us all together.
Yeah.
And then your content grows.
I
from
just
that.
feel like the content creator of the year at the Game Awards should be about making content about the games. That's this year. These people are amazing. These people have done
they
great
all
stuff.
yeah, but the counter would be like they all made content about games this year.
But is that what they're getting content creator of the year?
Like was
nom
Kai
for?
Cenat
well,
And who is my other question. Like who did out of this list, who did the most gaming content that deserves this?
Burnt Peanut, probably.
I think everybody's
Most
probably-
critical streams
probably
games all the
five
time.
only except for Kai Cenat, but like
Yeah.
Kai's put on larger streams with video games than probably all of them because of his size and his size of the audience.
That's the only thing I'm putting out is Kai
Yeah.
Cenat. I think out of these five is the one where I think obviously he's one of the biggest streamers in the world.
Yeah.
But I feel like his gaming content is such a small piece of the pie compared to everything else that he's doing.
K Drell is a League of Legends coach who I'm sure does a lot of streams based on like, you know, teaching and review tapes. You know, like you ever seen I'm sure Mike several years ago that there were a lot of content creators going like, hey, submit your clips or whatever, and I'll guess what rank you are. Like that, I assume that he's really big in the League of Legends world. That's just speaking from a place of ignorance.
Moving on to the next category.
I'm moving on.
We have Best VR/AR Game, Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age, Ghost Town, Midnight Walk, and Deadpool VR. Happy to see Midnight Walk here. I still haven't finished it, but really excellent little game. It's not only in VR, you can also play it on PS5. Super cool, Tim Burton-esque art style, like fun little puzzle game. But yeah, otherwise, don't have too much to say about this. Does anyone?
I only played Alien Rogue Incursion with Nick. We had a nice smile on our face. Wasn't great, but it also did a good job creating a cool world within Alien that you could walk around and really feel like that. But it wasn't groundbreaking to me.
I'm happy to see that VR is thriving.
Are you being a troll right now?
Yeah, I'm being a troll. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Valve's all in, baby. What are you gonna do? And like to your point, Luminous Arise could have been here.
Yeah, where's
Could've been
Luminous
here.
Arise?
Yeah, it's crazy to me that like Deadpool VR, which isn't even out yet, but Luminous, that we like also had codes for earlier.
I mean, again,
didn't make
to
here.
jump in here though, it's all about I think
People trying to play for nominations and getting stuff early.
not
enough.
even that as much as I think PR making a big deal of, and this is a stupid thing because it's in the title, but Deadpool VR is a VR game. Luminous Arise was a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play in a PSVR, but it's everywhere else too. Like it wasn't like how they're gonna drive for it. But I hear you.
Fair.
Next up, Best Debut Indie Game, Blueprints, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. God damn, it's not fair. Despelote, Dispatch, and Megabonk. I mean, look, it's just wild. Like, obviously, we're going to talk a lot more about Claire Obscure as we go on, but most nominations ever. How much is it just going to run away? Like, how much? Like, if there's 12 nominations, is it going to win 10 of them?
I think
and
so.
you look at Best Debut Indie Game, and it's like you want to give the amazing games here. Despelote is the only one that I truly know nothing about.
Oh, dude. It's good.
Yeah.
It's like
What is it?
it's like a documentary game essentially about what's the country that it takes
Mexico,
place in?
right? Isn't
No,
it?
it's not
Ecuador.
Mexico.
Ecuador.
Yeah, there we go.
I
Ecuador.
played it. I beat it over the weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool art style. This is first person. I wouldn't say walking sim, but almost like an interactive experience where you are playing as a kid in Ecuador during a year where they were in the World Cup.
They're trying to qualify for
remember
that.
A slice of life adventure about childhood and the magical grip soccer held over the people of Quito, Ecuador, in 2001.
Is this the one with the art style where it's very like drawy looky?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, but
Mike mentioning that he saw it at a museum
Yeah, it was at the MoMA.
is exactly
Yeah.
That's the kind of game it is.
playing as I played it. It takes about 2 hours to beat. It's like this feels more like just an interactive autobiography or
Yeah.
like a documentary piece. Yeah.
cool. And then yeah, Blueprints. You want to speak to that?
I mean, of course, like Blueprints is a fucking masterpiece that I I would vote for this category, but Clear Obscure is going to take it.
Yeah.
That's the tough thing.
There's a conversation in the chat, Weeb Lord, saying Expedition 33 is not an indie.
Here we go.
But I mean, let's have the conversation. Is like, what's the argument that it's not an indie?
The team's too big.
Team's too big. Budget is comparable to AA
It's
games.
a double A game.
Yeah.
But it's like it is by definition an independent studio.
100%.
Right? So it's like that is
They're
Y'all
not,
said
they're not owned by
fucking
anybody.
nothing when goddamn Dave the Diver was there last year, so shut the fuck up and strap in. You know what I mean?
So it's interesting, but like
And by the way, there for the argument I'm making, if you're new here, Expedition 33 is an independent game by definition. Period. Dave the Diver was not. Dave the Diver was nominated because it looked like pixel art indie shit.
Yeah.
Not shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's just wild how you can look at all these different games and Expedition 33. Just you look at what that game is and calling it an indie. It is an indie. That's crazy. It plays with our minds.
It's the normal thing where we can sit here and talk about it like we're talking about earlier, overthinking it. It'll win.
Yeah.
There's a chance other people could sit at this and go, what's the best indie? And they go, well, Expedition, I don't count that as an indie. That could happen. And there's a lot of great deserving games on there. I think Expedition will run away.
But
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the conversation, if we're going to have a conversation in a bigger way, right? Like, you could stretch this to be like, well, Larian with Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is an indie game. Why didn't that
Agreed.
get nominated? You could stretch that to even with the Witcher devs with Cyberpunk and all that shit, right?
This is every year we get here, we have this conversation of this is a category that officially needs to be redone and be best small game team, a game made by an independent team of only 50 or less or something like that.
And we're not even talking about best independent game. This is best debut independent game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So even if it was just best debut for a team, that gets a little complicated. But
Even then, I think that would make more sense where it's like, Sony isn't going around making that many new studios, right? So even if they did and they were a great thing, cool. It's your first game out the thing. You're in for best debut game.
Yeah, that's probably a better
I was
call.
recommending every dev has to send their financial books to Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
And the other argument to it too of best debut game is the idea that like we look at the other ones. I forget what category. I think it might have been not shooters, but action games. Where we're like, oh, they're all sequels. Like, well, good. They wouldn't be nominated for best debut game.
Yeah, Barrett.
I think there's also like a weird thing with people thinking about indies in terms of art style and presentation as well. Because if you look at, I went to Kepler Interactive, which is the like publishing side of this game. The other games that they published this year was Bionic Bay and Rematch. And I think if like you recognize those games as being smaller teams, indie, purely just because of like how they look, but not Clair Obscur, I think you also need to like kind of break down that barrier in the conversation as well. Of like, well, just because it looks like this certain thing doesn't mean it's AAA or AA or whatever.
And if you're not paying attention, since we called this out, of course, earlier when we were talking about a little bit of numbers, 12 for Clair Expedition, Kepler Interactive has 13 nominations, which puts it in second place to, Sony Interactive is 19 nominations across the combined portfolio. Kepler's in second place with 11. EA and Microsoft are tied with 10.
Wow.
Yeah. I think the only way you could shake it up to try and figure out how to make, I guess, a new indie category would be to go by team size or budget, but that's just not feasible, right?
Yeah.
Like those numbers, that information isn't available to everybody.
I think
for every
this is one of
studio.
those things that's funny. It's a great problem to have. To go back to being at IGN and being like, we need indie game of the year because they could never be game of the year, right? And when you got to that point where it was breakout indies are suddenly starting to sniff around game of the year, or at least even genre awards, that was crazy. So now that we're here and I understand Jeff's the Game Awards in general and even DICE or whatever, trying to figure out how do you honor the small teams but not make it insulting and not have them just get run over, but then the small teams or whatever independent studios are making Baldur's Gate, are making Expedition 33.
It's a team of 30, but they had their 6 friends also ask some people.
And then this will be the whole thing
do
again,
recruiting.
where Expedition 30 or 33 was 30 people or 50 people, except for the hundreds of outsourced
Contractors,
people they use, which so many games do. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Show your fucking books.
Moving on. You have best independent game. Absolum. Woo. I was like waiting to make sure. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Ball Pit. Woo. Blueprints. Obscure Expedition 33. Hades 2. Hollow Knight Silk Song.
A wrestling call and response.
Dude,
What a fucking list of video games.
if we gave this an extra week though, Dispatch would be right in there. That sounds
And that, I mean, again, even more like banger after banger after banger.
yeah.
Like,
I thought
is this the best list of independent games we've ever had
I
in this
thought Peak
category?
would have been
No,
there.
Peak, yeah. Where's Peak at?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean,
That
Peak
bias.
was fantastic, right? I don't know where we missed that one.
What would you
Wrong.
take?
Tell me about it. You don't like Peak?
What would you,
No. I like Peak a
Red
lot.
Slop?
What would you take out to put in Peak?
Absolute or Ball Pit. Those would be my 2 votes of like I would say Peak could replace one of those 2.
Fair enough.
This is not what I'm arguing, but while we're calling out a Peak, you said snubs, and it's one of those I have to digest the list. One of the disappointments for me in this list, and not that I'm saying these lists are wrong, is the fact that Hell Is Us got nothing. Not even a tip of the hat somewhere as a nom. I'm just saying a nom because I thought that game was doing something very, very special. Well, I think it was criminally underplayed, yada, yada, yada. I don't think it should be here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away from
What just without looking at the actual list and you saying it has to replace something, what do you think it could have?
That would have been action adventure, right? It would have been music and score and setting and sound. You know what I mean, like that kind of thing. I just want to see somewhere that get a nom because I think that did such a great job at making a really cool world to live in and explore.
But yeah, best independent game. Like Andy, what's this list do to your heart?
Well, I mean, Peak was on my original predictions list. I had Expedition 33, Silksong, Blueprints, Peak, and Hades 2. I think not only from the aspect of the amount of people playing it, but how much it really dominated a lot. And it wasn't just the flavor of the week. It wasn't just one of those indie games that takes over for a little bit and then you never hear about again. Like, it was around for a long time. It had staying power, and it kept on building and building audience. And we're talking, I think at this point, 12 million plus purchases, which is fucking crazy. I was pretty shocked to not see that there. But yeah, I mean, looking at this list without Peak being there, it's like, yeah, these are all very, very strong indie titles. I'd agree with Mike. If I were to replace something on this list with Peak, it'd probably be Ball Pit or Absolum. Yeah.
Yeah, so stoked to see Absolum here. I'm still haven't finished it. I know Barrett's played a lot more than I have, but shout out to Dotemu. They're really killing it, and I think that they've been doing such a great job with the license side of things. To see them come out with their own IP and have it be as good as this is, awesome stuff. I think that they're definitely a group to keep your eyes on, and I think that this won't be the last time that their games show up at a Game Awards.
I love that they're nominated. I would love to have seen them. I don't think they're in best art direction, but that's another game that I just think is so pretty. And if you like beat 'em up gameplay and really smart roguelike systems that you'd see in Hades 2, like, you owe it to yourself to play Absolum.
Ball Pit, tell me more. I still haven't played it. Like, I know everybody loves it, but is it?
You got to play it.
I will at some point. Maybe not. I don't know, actually, if I'm being honest.
It's a good time. Like, it didn't knock my socks off in any way, I think, but I think I am in the minority in terms of how everybody felt about the game. I think I gave it, like, at the time, a 7.5 out of 10. I put in like 30, 40 hours into it. I really enjoyed my time with it. And yeah, it's a roguelite game where you start off every level and you pick a new little villager, and each villager has a different thing about them that makes your brick-breaking experience easier or more different or more unique. And yeah, it had really cool progression hooks. I thought it was a really, really fun time, but I didn't see it like, I don't know if I would put that over even something like, I guess Megabonk is just 3D Vampire Survivors, but yeah,
It's a lawsuit.
it's another one of those games that I think is like really, really fun, but I haven't really thought about it a whole lot since I moved on.
Yeah. I mean, I just think of Bless when he brings up that category of like, there's something missing here with the sim games that you bring up, from Power Wash Sim 2, Schedule 1, right? You talk about The King is Watching. It's too many games, Tim. That's all it is. You go down the list, and I could give you 6 best indie games that you would go and be like, those are good games. Those are good games, too.
Talk to me about Megabonk, Mike.
I mean, Megabonk was hot. Megabonk is just Vampire Survivors with a 3D twist to it. So if you like that, you're going to love Megabonk. Megabonk is very fun.
Does it deserve a spot on best independent game list?
I could definitely talk to you about Megabonk over Absolum or Ball Pit again. I don't know about the other 4 because I do really ride for Blueprints. Yeah, exactly. I could make a list of 10 right now that I would have added more onto for sure. Megabonk would be in that conversation. Repo could be in that conversation.
Schedule
Heat
1
would be in that. Schedule 1. The pool simulator would be at Water Park Sim. Power Wash Sim, wherever that falls, is going to be somewhere on this list. So yeah, there's a lot of great games.
Moving on. We have best multiplayer, Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. Peak getting in here. Does that make you happy, Mike?
Yeah, I'm very happy with Peak in there. I circle back to Split Fiction. I like the co-op nature of it, right? I look and go in my head, were there other best multiplayer games? I might bring up Marvel Rivals from last year. That's that December one that missed the cutoff that comes into this, right? Like, what is a multiplayer game to you? Could be a lot of different things, right? In this category, 5 of those are more than just 2 people, right? So do we lean a little bit on that of like, hey, let's get more multiplayer here? Split Fiction is such a special case. And yeah, it is a multiplayer game. That co-op nature is something different when you look at the rest of them. But I would probably have a conversation with Marvel Rivals here.
Yeah, I feel like Marvel Rivals would complete this list. It's tough because I look at it and I don't know what I would remove for Marvel Rivals. But also, like, I think multiple of these categories have 6 options. I think this is one that could have had 6 options here with Marvel Rivals making it in there, because like that game had such an impact within the last year. That game is stuck around within the last year. We're still getting exciting updates, right? They just announced Gambit and Rogue.
You need me and Blessing canvassing in your town, in your local towns.
Dude, yeah, let us make the pamphlet.
Hang and put them under the windshield wipers. All over the place.
Yeah, exactly. But
DFD, don't forget
your,
December.
Yeah, put them on your doorknobs. Yeah.
Andy, do you think Arc Raiders takes this?
Great question.
Shit.
It's riding high right now.
Yeah, it has.
This is such a good. They planted their flag at the right time.
It has such momentum right now. I think planting their flag at the right time would have been maybe 2 weeks or a month prior.
Okay.
Only from the aspect of getting put in more areas, being nominated in more spots. But yeah, I think it's riding such a high right now that I could definitely see Arc Raiders taking it. I don't know how much of the industry will hold against the AI stuff against it. Yeah. But yeah, I could definitely see it.
I think
winning.
you look at it and it's Arc Raiders, Peak, or Split Fiction. And I think when you start going in there and doing our little game of knocking things down, I would bet Split Fiction wins, because I think there's enough people who I don't like extraction shooters usually, right? I love Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders brought me in. That's amazing. I still think the majority, like who played in this critics judging category, who played more? I think Split Fiction probably had more people playing together, having a good time.
I think you're underrating Arc Raiders. I
hope so. I want Arc Raiders to win.
Yeah, like I mean, when you look at the Steam counts,
but I'm talking about judges. But yeah.
Yeah, but I think judges are included in that, right? Like you're talking about such a big judging pool as well that votes within this. Yeah. And Arc Raiders, I think, is one of the highest played games of the year. Like I'd be surprised if more of the judges haven't played Arc Raiders over Split Fiction.
Battlefield 6. I mean, we're not talking about Battlefield 6.
We're not,
6.
And we won't.
Battlefield 6 is one of the best on this list, if not 1 or 2, actually. It would be Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6 leading this in the front here. Elden Ring Night Rain gets a nice little tip of the hat. Peak is very good. Peak would be my number 3. Split Fiction would be at 5 or 6 here. I do think that we are forgetting that Battlefield 6 came out and had a fantastic launch. Battlefield 6 nailed it after a 10-year just mishap of all 3 of those games that came out since Battlefield 4 and 1, right? Now you're talking about Battlefield 6 nails the launch. Then after that, you look at it, they nail the DLC right afterwards with a new map and a battle royale. I mean, this is a game that like has taken over. I know it's a little bit cooled because Arc Raiders is the hot thing of the week right now, but like both of those games, that's where the votes will be going.
We'll see. Let's move on. For Games for Impact, Consume Me, Despelote, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wander Stop.
Great list.
I'm still so curious about Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, like the reasoning of it being on this list.
Teenage angst,
I
coming
guess
together,
impactful.
Whatever they did.
I
in
feel
that
like people
second
just
half.
nominate what has an emotional story.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it's in the running. I think that was many people's 5th write-in or whatever it needed to be.
I mean, it has to be either Despelote or Consume Me.
You don't think? Here's what I would say is I don't think you're wrong. My heart says Despelote because I feel I've heard that narrative so much. I still haven't played it myself. Janet Garcia yells at me about it all the time, understandably so. I would say, Consume Me being about an eating disorder, Despelote being about this whole thing that, there's more under the surface of the 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then, yes, I think, again, though, South and Midnight got in a lot of people's hands. And people really did like that look at the Deep South and everything Hazel went through in that. I don't know if it's enough. I think of that tree. I think of the Tree Man. I think of the Tree Man song.
Tree Man.
I think more judges will look at this nomination list and go, what haven't I played? And if they haven't played Despelota, they'll go, "Oh, it's only 2 hours," and they will play that. And
I'm in that category. I'm like, I
could
gotta
see
do
that
it.
winning. Yeah.
Next category,
No Man's Sky.
best community support. We have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
Simpsons and Fortnite, you know.
Yeah.
No, but I
hate
guess I think Fortnite more of like ongoing game. I would say this is another weird one. Community and
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly.
it's
These
like
are,
I don't follow their social media accounts, so I don't know.
Whatever won last year, it's probably gonna win this one.
Yeah.
Next up, best narrative. Clear Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F.
Silk Song should be here.
I agree.
Yeah.
Would you replace Yote with it?
I can't speak on Yote.
You didn't play it?
No,
Oh,
no
wow.
interest. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I just think what Silk Song does with its narrative and how it kind of rolls out its story, learning about the characters, learning about this society and this kingdom and all this stuff, and then like the character stuff, character work that they do as well, I think is fucking phenomenal.
I think this category is another one where it's like, what have we been doing?
Yeah.
Expedition wins.
Dude, it's so easy. And like I want to be like, oh, but Death Stranding 2, but like no, it's Clear Obscure.
Next category, best adaptation. We have a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, The Last of Us, and Until Dawn.
Jason Momoa was great in Minecraft movie. Like, let's
Yeah?
just take a moment.
Who saw
and
Minecraft
just
movie? Was it just Mike?
Appreciate that the Minecraft movie made you smile and had a good time. Okay, Jack Black, you got Jason Momoa. They're running through, laughing, having a good time. I'm riding with that.
Dude, everybody in chat is saying
I'm riding
Minecraft.
with
Holy
that.
shit.
Yeah, Minecraft was fun.
Was it? It was good.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
I feel like I stepped into a different dimension. I could have sworn everybody was hating on Minecraft.
I think more
We're thinking
people,
about Borderlands.
I guess yeah, maybe
I
I'm
think
switching
more
up the
people
two.
were blown away that it wasn't awful. That it was like, oh, that wasn't a bad time. You know?
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I haven't seen it. I loved Devil May Cry. Very happy to see it here. Can't wait for season 2. Splinter Cell Death Watch. I haven't heard a single person that's watched it that hasn't been like, it's fucking amazing. Roger specifically loves it, but it's not just him. Like the talk around this is high. Last of Us, we all understand. It was a very split season. You either liked it, loved it, hated it, everything in between. But I still think that it deserves a spot here. Until Dawn does not at all deserve a spot on this list.
Everybody's
Twisted Metal
saying-
season 2 and definitely Sonic 3 deserve a spot.
Everybody's saying, where's Sonic 3? Where's Andy and Blessing
DFD.
canvassing in your local town?
Don't forget,
Don't forget
December.
December.
They brought up as
I
well.
love that you're doing the Clinton
Don't
Obama
forget
hand thing.
December.
They brought up Chicken Jockey. Do you remember how viral
Dude,
that
I
went?
remember going to see
Chicken
What
Jockey.
a time.
I forget what movie it was. I saw it was Sinners, I think. I went to see Sinners, and I was in line, and just a bunch of kids
Yeah.
were there for Minecraft.
They had moved
it was the most annoying.
selling popcorn and candy to kids.
It was the most
They
annoying movie
re-released
going
it.
experience I ever had.
They re-released like
That's
the
amazing.
you can fuck around and do whatever you want version, like the sing-along or whatever. For,
You
for
fuck
K-pop.
around and
Block
do whatever
party.
you want.
Yeah.
I was behind like a group of kids in line, and one of the kids turned around and was like, "Hey, I got these chicken tendies. Do you want these chicken tendies?" And I looked at all, I was like, "No, no, I don't want your half-eaten chicken.
Get away
tendies.
from me.
Get away from me! I'm not here to talk to children. I want to watch Sinners."
Sonic got robbed. Moving on, we got best audio design, Battlefield 6, Clear Obscure Expedition 33, which made it simply for its Perry sound.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, and Silent Hill F.
Yeah, I was mentioning last night, as awesome as Clear Obscure Expedition 33 sound effects are, I think they are kind of poorly mixed in some spots with the volume and things like that. And I'm surprised that Arc Raiders did not make this list. I really thought that could have and should have been a shoe-in with hearing shoes on the ground and footsteps
Sure.
and just the environment and explosions and sounds. Like the 3D audio in that game is so fucking immersive.
Yeah, any thoughts on this, Mike? I know you were...
I mean, it's got to be Battlefield 6 for me. Battlefield 6 is crazy audio design from everything that you experience throughout that game. Every single moment in a multiplayer match is just screaming in your ears. The audio is awesome in that game. So, yeah, I'll ride for that.
Next up, we have Best Score and Music, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Hades 2, Clear Obscure Expedition 33, Ghost of Yote, and Death Stranding 2. It's a tough one. Don't need to go over my Mario Kart thoughts again. I also think South of Midnight, if it deserved anything, it was best score in music.
Fair.
Like the fact that game focuses on music so much and the entire narrative is through song. Beautiful
Good
songs.
Good point.
Such a great story and narrative that, again, it's through the music. And I feel like it's a snub here where, like, that game, I understand, not the best thing ever, but
Two-Toe Tom is
There you
one
go.
of the best songs
amazing,
of the year.
right?
Yeah.
And I really feel like it deserves a spot here.
I mean, it's the top 3 here for me. Like I could roll a dice and whatever it lands on, I'll understand and go like, yeah, that deserves it over, whether it's Silk Song, Hades 2, or Expedition 33. And anytime I lean towards one, I think about smaller moments in the other games that really highlight and go, oh shit, man, I can't believe how crazy right now the Darren Korb is doing different shit near the end of these runs. And Expedition 33, I think about how awesome all those songs are and how diverse they are with genres, and suddenly you have this weird techno thing coming out of nowhere, and then you have this instrumental thing with a dude screaming at the top of his lungs, and then Silk Song, I just think it's Christopher Larkin at his best. Like this is going to be the one that, like, when Christopher Larkin is accepting the Lifetime Achievement Award, it's going to be like Silk Song is the one where you really, really kind of brought it.
Hades 2 for me was, obviously Dan Korb going off, love it, but I wasn't personally like, I'm putting this on the list until the second half of the game. Like, until I really started getting into more of the stuff, and I beat the game a couple weekends ago, and that cemented it. I'm like, oh my God, this belongs on this list, which is a very tough year because we have so many bangers, but what they did with Hades 2 to elevate the Hades 1 stuff deserves so much praise in terms of presentation and production value. They're so damn talented. Hollow Knight Silk Song, like, just doubling down on what Andy's saying, like, the score of that game is utterly phenomenal. Like, it is more than just atmosphere and vibes. It does everything it needs to at every single moment. Like, it creates the perfect kind of, like, bow on a package of, like, oh, this is like a perfect video game in so many ways, and it just always makes you feel the way you need to. And a lot of the music you can listen to outside of the game, but it functions even better in the game, and I always think that that's an important thing to keep in mind. For me, it is Expedition 33 that takes this away, because not only is this a new, like, composer that we haven't heard before, knocking it out of the park for the first time, what Andy's talking about, the various instrumentation and genres and all that, but I always talk about musicals, and can you listen to the soundtrack of a musical and know the story and know what's going on? I feel like with Expedition 33, it's not a musical. That's a different thing, but you can understand the emotion and of the story of that game through just listening to the soundtrack. And the vocalists, the main female vocalist and the main male vocalist that are on so many of the tracks are so incredibly talented. And the way that in so many of the songs, they're fighting back and forth, and it almost doesn't sound good because it sounds like raw. She's representing this, he's representing this. It's literally a fight between two characters. They're representing these characters, and that stuff is so fucking powerful. Like, Expedition 33 for me.
Yeah, the thing about the Cogwork Tower, though, Andy, like, remember how sick that was? Fuck. Silk Song was so good.
Underrated for audio design, just going back real quick, Silk Song to me, playing Silk Song with headphones for all of the time, because I never really played it off stream, really. Yeah. That's the most 3D that a 2D game has ever felt. Like, what they do with directional audio and where certain sounds are taking place and how the world is reacting around Hornet is really, really crazy.
Like, the first, when you, like, kind of walk into that first little village and all of the little, like, green bugs, like, flutter out, and that was, like, one of those first moments where it's like, oh, the audio design is already kicking ass 10 minutes into this game.
Yeah, the audio design, Hollow Knight deserves a shout out for sound design. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely want to double down on everything Tim said, because I agree 100% as far as Clear Obscure Expedition 33 winning it, but then also Hades 2 and what they do with that soundtrack. The variety there is fucking incredible. It's not just the fact that there's a range of like growth throughout the runs that you're doing, but also just the amount of genres and like how hard they go in those genres is incredible. I also don't want to sleep on Death Stranding 2 soundtrack, because that game has a fucking immaculate soundtrack. I was rewatching clips.
All because of Roger.
All because of Roger Picorni and because of Woodkid. I was watching clips of that game yesterday, and like even just the opening area where you're doing that first walk across the mountains.
-61.
It's so fucking good. And then I think about certain cutscenes and certain character themes, whether it be Rainey, whether it be Elle Fanning's characters, and like the specific themes they give to those characters the theme they give to Elle Fanning's character specifically during certain scenes where it is fucking like, oh shit, y'all are going hard here. This is incredible stuff. Yeah, Death Stranding 2 soundtrack shouldn't be slept on.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to say about Hades, you reminded me, like, because I was mainly talking about the latter half of the game, but without spoiling stuff, this second boss in that game, the lead up to the second boss and then the second boss itself, that alone, I think, would earn the game a part on this list. Like, that stuff's so damn cool. Moving on, best art direction, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah.
I've said this like a bazillion times. This might be the best example of this category we've ever seen. Like, all of these are bangers.
I would have, if I could remove something, I'd remove Ghost of Yotei and replace it with Absolum. That was like more of a personal choice.
Sure.
Not that I don't think Ghost of Yotei does anything, that would take it off the list in a real bad way or anything, but I just really love the art style for Absolum.
I think it's tough to take anything off this list, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks fucking incredible. For the 3.5 to 4 hours of that game I played, I was shocked by how good the cutscenes look in that game.
Yeah.
One of the best looking games of the year by far.
ZOVGM in the chat says South of Midnight not getting a nom here is the biggest snub of the show.
Oh, yeah.
This is like Sifu not making the list that year.
Yeah. Oh.
Dude, how the fuck is that? Put it back on this year,
Yeah.
you know?
just give it something, you know what I mean?
Or put rematch just to make up
Dude,
for it.
real.
But yeah,
What about the whales, Mike, in the space? You could change your arenas. Like, that's
Shout out to Sword of the Sea. Not nearly enough people played it to get it any sort of nominations. I don't think it does anything like super new, which is probably another reason, but there is some like twists and turns from what you expect from the studio that did Journey that I thought was really, really fun and really beautiful. But I just want to give that a shout.
Yeah, somebody in chat mentions Keeper. I think we mentioned that during the live thing, but man.
Yeah, Hades 2, obviously, what amazing art design and direction, but like that is also just following up what they did. Like, I don't think that Hades 2 is particularly like, I mean, it's better than Hades 1, I would say, but like I don't think it necessarily like deserves it over it. Having said that, Hollow Knight Silk Song, I do think is such a beautifully art directed game, more so than Hollow Knight. And you look at them, and there's a lot of similarities, but the amount of depth in how much unique hand-drawn, like beautiful locations and just everything about the art direction of Silk Song is like, goddamn. Like, I don't understand how their brains work.
On the flip side, think of Dionysus and that big old bulge he's got.
Yeah,
It took a lot of rendering for that bulge.
Those key arts look incredible. We could have done a best art direction part 2 category.
Yeah, as the chat called out, I think it was Karam said Dispatch. And I do think, I mean, obviously, it's like, sure, whatever. But I mean, also, it looks gorgeous and it looks like you're watching a show, which I know is this, but it's a whole thing. But that was a well-directed art style that is throughout that entire game that I really loved.
For me, it's between Expedition 33 and Death Stranding 2, even as somebody who has only experienced Death Stranding 2 through like the first couple of hours of playing it and seeing screenshots and clips and here and there. It's like, God damn, like Yoji Shinkawa and just his hard surface design. But like in terms of what they're doing visually, and for me, Expedition 33 is kind of, I was going to say every frame of painting, which is like so on message for what the game is. But like they do some awesome stuff with vistas and like every time you walk into a new area and you just sort of like, oh, I need a photo mode now.
I mean, it's like looking at a beautiful piece of abstract art.
Yeah.
Where it is, I'm looking at scenes in Clear Obscure and I'm like, I've never seen this before. But that said, Death Stranding 2 would be my vote here with a bullet. Yeah, like you look at, again, talking about the opening scene where you're walking across the mountains, the amount of fidelity in like the curves of the mountains that you're seeing from far, far away. And like when they pull the camera out, seeing all of the detail looks fucking immaculate. And then you get to other scenes, like there's a scene with a bunch of fireworks that I've talked about even in the preview and you've seen in trailers, where walking through that, seeing the lighting for all that shit, incredible. The design of like the buildings and like the vehicles in that game, it's all the Yoji Shinkawa stuff. I can't say enough good things. And then also for the sequel, right, Death Stranding 2, the way it follows up on Death Stranding 1 with the amount of variety in the environments, and you get snow, you get a lot of fire, you get like a lot of rain, you get raising tides and all this shit, and it all looks so good.
Yeah. Moving on to best mobile game, Destiny Rising, Persona 5, Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Umamasumi, Pretty Derby, and Wuthering Waves. Anyone have any thoughts at all?
Mike, give it to us.
I mean, I like Pretty Derby, but I didn't play it on mobile. I played it on PC. I had a blast with Pretty Derby. I think that was So much fun.
Wait, was that the
Gotcha
Horse girl game.
horse girl game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was the best horse girl coach there was, and we went to the track and we.
He really
kicked ass.
was.
Next category. Best ongoing, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, so did get somewhere here, and No Man's Sky. Any thoughts?
I have seen a couple of people say, like, why Final Fantasy 14 this year, from some Final Fantasy 14 heads that feel like this year was not the best year for that game, especially in terms of support and it being an ongoing game. So I just wanted to.
I say more than previous years. I feel like I've heard the words Final Fantasy 14 less.
Yeah. The jig's up.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Hines, my roommate. I don't think I've heard him talking about Final Fantasy 14.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Next up, we have Best Performance. Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, and Jennifer English, all for Expedition 33. Erika Ishii for Ghost of Yote. Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and The Great Circle. And Shimizu Hinaku for Silent Hill F. Oh, so here's an interesting thing. Expedition 33 can't win 12 because it's competing against itself in one of the categories.
Hilarious. Interesting here. We're going off of Kotaku's report. The email PR blast from Keeley has Honatsu Kato from Silent Hill F on there, not
Mizu Hinata.
yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know where maybe that's the character. I don't even know. Maybe, but I don't know what's happening there.
Great year. I feel like obviously these are all great answers. There's so many people that could have been here too. I was rooting for Milano Wee from Hades 2 being on there, but my pick here is Jennifer English.
I just refreshed it. It seemed like they fixed it.
Gotcha. Great.
Charlie Cox, I shouldn't be surprised, but
He is so charming in that first third, and for someone who like doesn't do video game stuff, like again, a big year for performers who don't typically do, performance VO stuff for video games. Charlie Cox and Aaron Paul like both killed it this year.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with Charlie Cox because
It'll be
I
interesting
think
to see if he shows up.
Yeah.
What gave him?
So like I did like a day of work. I'm glad people love it. I don't know anything about
I
it.
recorded for 4 hours. What gave him the dub is I'm here. Oh man.
yeah,
Holy
yeah, okay.
like that's really what got him the nomination
That was
here.
good.
I would I think for me, when we're talking about the inconsistencies with the Dispatch nominations, I understand it not being nominated for a lot of stuff because not all the episodes had been out, but enough had been out for me to say that like I think Aaron Paul should have been nominated just because I was really impressed by his
I mean, it's
performance.
constantly, banging the same old drum, but I thought Laura Bailey was awesome in it as well. And I mean, I know Laura Bailey is just awesome in everything, but
And Jeffrey Wright as well. Like,
Oh my God,
him
Jeffrey
and
Wright.
Chase
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
phenomenal.
And I'm not going to get over Troy Baker from Death Stranding 2 not being here.
yeah.
I like Tom McKay. Henry of Scallots from Kingdom Come Deliverance too. Did a great job carrying that.
What's the Latin thing he says?
Oh shit! What do they say?
Fake fan. I don't remember. I mean, I played it. I don't remember anything.
Where's Jan Dolsky?
Obviously,
Yeah.
shout out to Ben Starr, right? Like we kind of just like breeze past it just
Right.
because, duh, we
love
fucking
that.
love him, and he killed it as Verso in this game. This motherfucker's sang. That's insane. You know what I mean? He's out here at concerts now singing songs. So sick.
It's him or Jennifer English for me.
Yeah. Troy Baker though. I really liked his Indiana Jones.
He's a great indie.
Yeah.
But I still think this
Better
year.
villain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're looking past Death Stranding 2. He was
Oh,
so
he was
fucking
He's
good.
incredible.
Eggs.
Let's see the next one. Game of the year. This is it.
The
This
big
is the
one.
big one. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm very happy with this list.
This is the right
I
six.
think that Kingdom Come being here and Ghost of Yote not, just for all the just history that we've had with video games, the games industry and the way people see it is changing, and I think that's exciting. Like I think it's cool that it's not always going to just play by the same rules. So yeah, great, amazing list of games.
Yeah, I look at this list, and for me, I think Expedition 33 runs away with so much of it. It's just the story of the year to me. I think it just dominates all of the conversation. And when we look back at 10 years from now, what games were like dominated the conversation, Expedition 33 is one of those that came out of nowhere and became some people's like top fives ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think like game of the year, it's Expedition 33.
Agreed.
Like, for the most people, the most quality, the most things, the most reasons why. And I'm saying that as somebody that I would give it a lower review score than some other games on this list. Donkey Kong Bonanza and Hades 2 and probably even Silksong. But I still think that for everything that does right, its importance, how much I'm going to think about it for the rest of my life, and like how much it's part of my identity. You know what I mean? It's like it's a game that I'm going to reflect on as like being more important than just like my nitpicks and issues with the game critically. And for it being their first game, for us seeing the game a year ago when it was announced and being like, oh my God, this looks incredible, but like I simply don't believe it. And then it coming out and over delivering.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I agree with everything Tim just said. Even though I think if I'm making a personal pick, I would still go Hades 2 out of this list of 6 games, just because it's the game that I look at that I think is the best, right? If I'm picking what I think is the best video games out of this bunch, Hades 2 is the one that sticks out to me. But I think Clear Obscure is going to run away with it, as it should, because I think to most people that's the one that stuck out.
Any other thoughts?
I think we owe Andy a round of applause. KDG did write in with the pizza bet between Andy and Mike, where Andy bet that the 6 Game of the Year nominees would be Hades 2, Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Expedition 33. Mike bets Split Fiction and or Blueprints will slide into one of the GOTY slots.
I still get half of it.
If they're both wrong, nothing happens.
Because I did
that's
say
how
I'll be. If you were watching, I said I'll be the bad guy here because we both agreed on the 6. We knew these were the 6, but I said I'll be the bad guy just so we can have a pizza.
You made a bet. You made a
you had
bet,
to
and
do
now
it,
you need
know
to
what I
buy
mean?
pizza today, and I think you should buy some for me because.
But like we,
Pizza Hut?
hey, let's be real. Would we like pizza? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
let's do
love
some pizza
All
today.
well,
Not
let's-
Pizza Hut.
Let's get real.
Not
Be real, Big Dog. Be real with
I'm
us.
Either
These two
Toto's.
I'm in a pizza mood. I'm being real.
It's either Toto's or Little Caesars with cheese in the crust, which I still haven't had.
shit.
Remember when we ordered it? It wasn't the right pizza. Okay.
What about Pizza Hut, though? Where does that fit in the
Fuck Pizza
conversation? I feel like this is a Pizza Hut office now.
We're ordering
No.
pizza. It's a great 6 right here. It's a very strong 6. It's been a fantastic year of video games. You could slide in another 100 games in here that all deserve a little tip of the hat in the nom. But it will be fun to see when we get towards our predictions, right? And where everybody lies.
Yeah.
Because that will be another fun pizza bet.
I got a strategy for
Pablo
my
lost.
predictions.
We have a ton of super chats that I want to kind of lightning through just to give the shout outs to people because this has been a great show. And we have so many of y'all hanging out watching right now. So thank you for thinking of Kind of Funny when big gaming moments happen. Want to be here. I love this. I love the conversation
We'll be
we just
reacting.
had. So cool. I think that we get to like add a lot of insight and experience of all this stuff. And so thank y'all for hanging out.
Remember reacting to Game Awards, obviously live here on Twitch and YouTube. And remember this week, reacting live to the Xbox Partner Showcase Thursday, 10 a.m.
JB says, I think I'd be most pissed if the eligibility is such that neither Dispatch or Arc Raiders get nominated. Both did. I think lighter than they would have had the timing been different, but there's no way to get that right. No matter what, there's always going to be issues. I do think Game of the Year probably shouldn't entail the entire year, but that's just me. Mr. Jib says, I'm running a Battlefield 6 server battle with KFBF Keen Omega, and I refuse to let him win. If you want to join a war between 2 consenting adults, add him on Discord. Check out Mr. Jibs. 2 B's in that jib, baby. Joshua Mitchell says, I've never been more torn on a category than I am with best performance this year. Not a single clear front runner, in my opinion. Just all greats. Spilling the Bean says, Adrienne Ray should have been nominated for South of Midnight. I agree about that as well. That is another snub. Her as Hazel I thought was incredible. Brandon Martin says Shinobi Art of Vengeance deserved an art direction nom. Yeah, man, that's a game that like you might see screens of it and be like, I don't like the way it looks. Play it, see it in motion. It is gorgeous, stunning. Sergio's talking fucking shit out here, saying Tim really wanted 25-plus-year-old songs to get nominated for score and music. Old music's old, Tim.
No, they deserved it.
They fucking deserve it, Sergio.
Damn, Sergio, you got owned.
Recon Awesome says, I know it's not going to win, but I'm so pumped that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 got nominated for Game of the Year. Hell yeah.
Nice.
We got King Toast saying, I wish The King is Watching was nominated for Best Indie. Andy, anything to say about that?
Still one of those early access titles. I just don't know if enough people got around to it, but I would love for when it finally comes out for more people to get eyes on it because it is a contender for me. It'll be in my top 10.
Wilfredo says the Kojima tax is real.
Shut up. Fuck
It's a
you.
very good game.
It's an amazing game.
Very good.
It's one of the
Good
best
game.
games of the year.
Very good.
It's a very
Incredible
good game. Yeah.
Riyadh says, what's more impressive, Game of the Year or fan pick out of 30 games? Game of the Year. definitely. I don't know if that's a serious question or not. S'mores and Oreo says Henry and Hans VAs got snubbed for
Oh,
performance.
those two are so good. Are you yanking my pizzle right now?
He touched my Pepe, Steve.
Good Lord. Kebab says hype for DK Bonanza making the cut just to hear the credit song and the orchestra at the end. Kebabs, that's a great point that I need to look at. What is the Game of the Year 6 here? Why do I not have
Man,
it?
we really got screwed with Final Fantasy 16.
We did. I think about that every day of my
man.
life, Andy. All right, yeah, we're going to hear music from Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2,
yeah.
Bonanza, Hades 2, Silk Song, and
That's
Kingdom
the
Come
good stuff.
Deliverance. This is about to hit so
Oh, yeah.
fucking hard.
What,
I might bust out a cigarette on stream. Start smoking during this. Like,
Andy,
I don't even
who's
smoke.
the little white lady that you fight in Silk Song? What's her name again?
Silk?
Lace.
Lace.
Oh, Lace, yeah.
One of the Lace boss fights songs needs to be used for Hollow Knight Silk Song. It won't though because they're cowards.
No,
I hope
I
it's
just need
Sherman songs.
Sherma to walk on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Have her sing
And
the
then
song.
DK Bonanza won't be the credit song. It'll just be the fucking.
I want the one where he turns into a giraffe or
theme.
something.
I hope the Gillette Hydro Chic Man comes back.
Never forget.
Melissa with a Y says all 30 devs in Claire Obscure are going to need to hold a Game Awards trophy for all the awards they're going to win.
All 30 of them.
Muriel says glad to see Kanatsu Kato get the best VA nom for Silent Hill F. Is this the first time a non-English speaker got a nom at the VGAs?
Ooh,
That's a good call.
I don't know.
a great question. Yeah,
I would lean towards yes.
you think so?
I think so.
I don't think Troy Baker speaks English.
Josh G says Claire Obscure Expedition 33 nominations are insane. Spartan says no faker for esports player is wild. Poogles, shout out to your name,
Shout out
says
to
there's
Poogles.
been only one game on this year that scratched an itch I didn't know I had, and it's Blueprints.
Yeah.
Glad to see it, but afraid of its competitive category. I'm thinking Portillo's for lunch. What's he get, Greg?
I mean, I would do 2 hot dogs, ketchup, mustard, pickle, only a large cheese fry, large Coke.
There you go. Oak Toasted says Expedition 33 Indie, wasn't it published by Kepler? We went through that. B. Corbin says Ghost of Yote was my 100th platinum, earned it over the weekend. Hate to see it not nominated for a Goaty, but this year's stacked, so I get it.
So many indie games have publishers. Let's go throw it out there.
Bryce Jackson says South of Midnight admitted from best score in music is the real snub. Not just because the music was good, but how it was implemented in gameplay. Absolutely. I'm just a Billy says happy Monday. Is there any worry about judges not playing nominated games or just voting for the games they did play? Claire Obscure got Game of the Year. Love y'all. It is what it is. These people were chosen for a reason, and they're going to play what they play and not play others. There's no solving this problem.
Yeah, I mean, limited time, right, in terms of what goes on. The argument you would think, don't think so much when you say judges, I think you worry a lot about one person. Think of how kind of Funny sits here and nominates and votes and all that jazz. Like, there's a weighted thing that it doesn't matter that I didn't play X because you guys all played it and love it. So it's not like it matters that I'm the one emailing Jeff. We're voting as a team.
Yeah, it's a curse of the industry because if you're an Oscars voter, you have to watch 10 or 8 or whatever 2-hour-long movies.
Yeah, pretty
and this is just like a different beast. You know, you have to
You have to
try
get
to make
200
your way
hours
through. Yeah.
to play these 6 games.
Resolute says Sonic Fox also snubbed, tied most Evo wins. Let's see.
Sonic Fox wins so much though that it's boring.
Yeah.
Every single time I watch Mortal Kombat at Evo, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's Faker the GOAT, too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But, like, there's still a chance. That's the
Yeah.
underdog story.
It's
That's
like when
the
you're just
upset
so
that
good
happened.
that people don't pay attention anymore, even though you're still fucking that good.
Remember when we went, they had the alpaca. They were hoping the alpaca, the kid could do it.
God,
He couldn't.
couldn't do it.
Kebab says this is the 9th year in a row a Sony game has been nominated for Game of the Year. Hopefully Wolverine can secure a decade streak next year. Anthro Metal says sad to see Warframe not getting its flowers despite consistently being good. Crazy it's somehow under the radar after all this time.
I also do want to shout out this one from Rat Avenue because Mortal Kombat is terrible. That's another thing I'll shout out or I'll point out. Evo, Mortal Kombat is where Sonic Fox is killing it. Mortal Kombat is also not a highly viewed game at Evo. It's like it's on night 1. And so no offense to night 1, but
Bander SN says Sonic Rumble getting best mobile is a travesty. Sonic 3 not getting best adaptations a derelict of duty. We need to do better for December releases. Glenn says shout out
remember
to
the games
Rematch
of
for real.
December.
Pretty Dude says not shocked, but South of Midnight not getting a nom for best soundtracks disappointing. We don't get music from the South like that often in games. Kenny Pants says playing through It Takes Two and now Split Fiction with my 8-year-old have provided some of my favorite gaming memories. Glenn Wilson says Avowed 100% deserves to be here.
I need Sonic Fox to get really good at Street Fighter.
Oh,
Less or Tekken. Like,
Yeah.
probably Street Fighter because it's like the finale.
if you
want to
get that, like,
it's Shohei Ohtani coming to America to play in the major leagues over here, and it's like, well, how are you going to compete over here? And then you do, and you're the GOAT. You're the best ever. You know.
yeah.
JB says, let's stop capping and just accept the reality that Claire Obscure is about to have more game awards than Return of the King has Oscars.
It's gonna be a big day for it. Yeah.
Del Walker says, isn't Valve technically an independent studio? You could put Half-Life 3 on that list. I mean, well, when Half-Life 3 is real, then
When it comes
we'll have that
out.
conversation, yeah. Dispatch got robbed from Best Narrative, says Karim.
The game wasn't out yet. The full game wasn't out yet. What if the game just shit the bed in the final acts? You know.
Yeah, and then the
That's
final
the
one,
tough point.
Arodotus Milododius says, when do we get Snowbike Mike for Content Creator Award?
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Me and Roger wanted to make a push, but don't worry, next year we'll be even better here at Kind of Funny, and we will make a push for best organization for content and best content creators. You can make that a promise.
Best event stream as well for the Streamer Awards.
Yeah.
Wait until you see what I got planned for 2026.
Yeah.
With these two.
Mike's gonna tie himself underneath like a semi truck and drive across the country.
Don't put that idea in my head. It's pretty good.
And real quick, I want to let you guys know that we just talked about a lot of very big things. Isn't that right? But Greg, if I want to know about something way smaller, where would I look?
You'd go to our last news story, the place with all the smallest news you need to know about, the Wii News channel.
It's true. It's Wii News, baby. There's an Xbox partner preview on Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Of course, we will be live reacting to it and then breaking down everything we saw right after that. Xbox says we'll show you an exciting first look at content coming to 007 First Light, an electrifying extended gameplay trailer for the upcoming dark fantasy epic Tides of Annihilation. I can't wait. And a fresh look at Reanimal, the new horror adventure from the creator of Little Nightmares.
They're cooking.
Among other great games heading to Xbox consoles, Xbox on PC, and Xbox Game Pass. We got the first pics of the Zelda movie posted on the internet. Y'all see these?
Yeah.
That's fucking Link.
They
That's
look
fucking
fucking
Zelda.
great.
Let's go. That's a real location. There's no green screen. I'm feeling good, y'all.
He's wearing a
ball,
green
baby.
tunic and not a blue one.
That green tunic Link, baby.
Well, West fucking Ball, man.
Can't wait. Can't
Does
wait.
he know ball?
He does,
hope he
baby.
does.
He does.
Does that man speak right there?
Eurogamer, yes.
Definitely.
Eurogamer says despite its high price, Xbox ROG Ally X sales have exceeded even ASUS's expectations as the handheld is in, quote, short supply. And that's it for Wii News, everybody. We did the super chats. I'm going to look at you wrong, but if you piss me off, I swear.
Oh
to God.
shit, fuck.
Wow.
You ain't having it
swear to
today.
God.
Run.
No. No one says anything. There, some people just saying what should have been there, but that's not what that's for.
What should
Thank you all for hanging out with us today for this episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily. A very special one. Our day is not over. We're about to do GamesCast. We're about to do a Arc Raider stream, checking out all the new content. It's going to be a great time. If you're on Twitch, hang out. Stay where you are. If you're on YouTube, you got to make the jump over to the GamesCast video. We'll be right back with that. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Goodbye.